And here we go.
Here we go.
Hello, everyone out there in the wonderful land of Twitch. This is John, your GM here, and part of the leadership at Rook and Rasp. Today we are playing Ninja Crusade second edition, third edition. Oh, no, that second edition. And boy, this has been a journey to get here, hasn't it? Let me make sure I don't have music going out to our listeners. Good.
What if they want music, John?
They might want. Hey, hello, Revna, and thank you so much, Corey, for both y'all coming in tonight. Good to see y'all. Tonight we're playing Ninja Crusade, but I do want to be sure to mention that tomorrow night we will be back with the conclusion of Battle Lords. So that is being ran by Chris Hussey for the Kickstarter that is now seriously coming up in the next few days, even.
Seriously.
For Battle Lords. Battle Lords is a game that's been around for right around 30 years now. And it is a space war game, and they are now releasing a edition of it for Savage Worlds, which we have gotten the opportunity to play test and be a part of. Rev in chat is one of the members of the group. And surprise, I will actually be stepping in next episode. Sean has, who plays Rage, has a birthday that he will be going to, so I will be stepping in for him tomorrow night. So I'll be there too.
Oh no.
Yeah. All the excitement. But that is pretty much the games we have coming up, except for Tuesday. Again, we will have Heckin' Good Doggos. But that's not why anyone's here tonight, specifically. Tonight, we are playing Ninja Crusade, and I want to be sure to introduce my cast. And I want to ask, as this campaign kind of winds down, Cliff Notes version, what is one of the highlights you've had so far from this campaign? What is something that really sticks out in your mind? So going around the table, let's go ahead and start up with Steven, with Chet.
Okay, hi, I'm Steven. I play Chet. Let's see. There have been a lot. There have been a lot of really good moments, and recency bias kind of wants me to pick from earlier episodes, but I'm gonna see if I can dig a little bit further back. Because you know what? I'm gonna go all the way back. I really liked how we opened with the entire series with a dodgeball game. I thought that was a really fun way to introduce all of our characters.
Let's be honest, that was our best episode to date.
I don't know
I was
about
pretty
that.
proud of myself. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. I'll be honest.
Cute.
I feel like we've grown a lot as a cast. And
That's true.
And as characters.
Yeah. We are very much characters, yes.
Yeah. Well, moving on then, going next in my layout, let's go ahead and have Justine.
I think the first thing that comes to mind, there's probably a lot more if I had more time to kind of mule over it, was the time that Ranto shoved the branch through the guy's butt and killed him. I was coming off a lot of overtime over the course of about 2 weeks plus maybe a weekend. I had maybe a little bit of pent up aggression there that I wasn't that kind of leaked out. And I just remember doing that and then feeling really good afterward.
Sometimes you just need to stab a guy in the ass.
Sometimes maybe a fictional character just needs to be murdered.
Awesome. Well, going down and to the left on our layout, I'm going to go ahead and ask Guy. So, Twan, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Twan. I'll be playing Guy, the resident intellect in the group. As for, not that you're not intellectual. I'm just saying is that's really my defining shtick.
We are all so smart.
I think he's talking about me.
Defining intellectual.
So.
But
Sorry,
as for potentially my most memorable moment, is actually one of the more low-key moments in the series. Post-time jump, we were reunited, and then we we were being spied upon, and we were chasing after them. Do you guys remember that? We were
Mhm.
going through the crowd, and but they were slowly losing us. And Guy was able to kind of gather enough defining features about them that we were still able to kind of continue on with the plot and identify them afterwards.
Yep.
And that just kind of was very gratifying to me as a player that is not combat built, still being able to contribute towards the progression of the plot.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And that was the reuniting of your characters was a pretty fun part for me too, because I felt like it had a really anime-esque kind of feel to it. But last but not least, partner in crime, Rue.
Hmm. I was trying to think of like you said most memorable moment. That's what we're doing
For you, yeah.
for me.
For
Okay.
you.
See, that was for me as Rue or for me as Kyo.
What's the
I
difference?
Well, that is a deeper question for my therapist, and that we don't have time to explore right now. But actually, I really like the fight that we did, and it may be the same one where Ronto stabbed a guy in the ass, but it's the one where the traps, or was it an exploding arrow that blew a guy in two pieces, and all we saw was his two halves. He going their separate ways. It is I think it's one of our clips.
there we do have a clip of it, and the one that's on a clip is actually from the first time y'all got into a big combat, and that was when the
It-
army was chasing you.
Yeah, and it was the guy that could sniff key or whatever. The guy that was all chained up, and he was just
Oh yeah,
you know
Ichi the Killer.
Ichi the Killer. That's him. So
Yep.
that was probably one of my most memorable moments. Just the two halves.
That for me as a GM, I do kind of remember that game because I also feel like that
Kind
was
of.
the game where, as players, you all got to actually be in a big combat and feel like absolute badasses.
I think that was and that was when we still had Takumi with us too.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was good. It was good.
I actually want
That's
to change.
That was
I want to
Honkin'
change my
Bonkin' night too.
want to change my answer to pirate fight. I've had time to think now, and it's pirate fight.
The
Oh,
pirate fight was good. Yeah, that was good.
Takumi killing one twin with his bow and arrow in an earlier episode in a really weird roundabout way where the arrow flew up and came down, and later down the road killing the other twin.
Yep. Takumi got some pretty bitchin' kills,
know.
whether he wanted them or not. So, oh look, you're using our mug.
aw.
I am,
I need to put that mug back out. I love that
Mm.
mug.
I do
Yep.
too. It's held up pretty well.
Sweet.
But I have machine washed it, so if you see me wear, it's because I was doing what it told me not to do.
You know?
Don't ever listen to what Justine actually does.
Yeah.
Listen
Yeah.
to the instructions.
Well, if you are out there in Twitch land, you're going to also see tonight. So, everyone heads up. We knew that we were going into a combat, pretty much mainstay of this game. Presented that to the players, presented it to the viewers, asked ahead of time. And I've been thinking about how I was going to do this since the beginning. So, two things. First and foremost, people out there in Twitch chat, you're going to see several new categories of purchases for things that you can do with your channel points tonight. Things that have never been available before. If you want to, my players, you might not want to go look if you want to be surprised. But I opened up quite a bit for the viewers to really affect the story tonight. On the other side of that, I figured out how I'm going to do it tonight. And we're actually going to be doing this as a series of journeys as a part of this raid on this fortress. Because I've always liked the journey mechanic in the game.
The travel montage.
Yeah, the travel montage. And I was like, it would be a great way to allow my less combat-esque players and characters to contribute to the scene in a way that they want to and feel like they could, and to have a little bit more narrative control. So this isn't just about, killing and fighting and whatever else. So that's kind of why I prepped a lot of y'all with the idea, hey, if you come into the game tonight, think of something that, think outside the box tonight a little bit. So that said, we're going to go ahead and get tonight started. Go ahead and pull up a little bit of music for our listeners out there, a little bit of background sounds. If it needs to be adjusted, just go ahead, drop it in chat, and let us know.
Yeah, just as long as you can hear my dulcet tones over everything else, that's all that matters.
Well, so the attack on Jishin Fort. Letters and missives were sent out by both your party and the Blossom Land leaders in advance of the flooding of the lands between the new Southern Empire and the land of Seed and Blossom. That strip of land, and yeah, there, I will adjust it. Thank you for letting me know. Hopefully that's a little bit better now.
I like that music so loud. Yes.
But letters and missives were sent out, and it was done quickly because the lands between the two kingdoms flood pretty much 9 to 10 months out of the year. As you are preparing and waiting for word, a legion of Sakamoto warriors and Lotus Ninja then have traversed the fog-laden swamps, scores of flat barges, to meet the Blossom Ninjas and members of the adventuring cast on the borders of their lands. A tense air filled the space between both forces before leaders of the both groups met and eventually broke bread together. Whatever misgivings either side has had were thrust aside in the mutual desire to see the Empire finally driven from the land. On the days leading up to the battle, the visions of what you have seen have shown this will be no easy feat. Now, when the initial armies approached the fort, the commanders present inside inside this fortress began to execute prisoners and have archers harry the approaching armies, hoping to dissuade them in methods that have worked in the past. But by the time you arrive and the forces move into position to surround the fortress, all the Imperial troops have fled and into the walls, and the city is now sealed off. Now, before you stands a city that is every bit as large as the fortress and forge city of Hymanmu, if you remember that. But rather than walls that surround dozens of mines and factories, and the locals here tell you that within the city are farms and livestock designed to outlast any siege that tries to starve them out. Looking upon the yards of exposed land leading up to the fort, you see the 60-foot smooth stone-sloped walls, topped by an additional 20-foot of constructed walls, and protected by thick, overhanging roofs. There's little hope of anything less than attacking, breaching, and sieging this fortress. The city is roughly trapezoid-shaped, with long sides being the front and the back. The side facing the majority of your army, and a back. The back kind of saddles up to the river and swamp area of the lands beyond. So that entire side is nearly intraversal. Now, for days, the Allied forces have been sending out expeditionary forces to tempt and evade the enemy. A common dance with the intent of a true lance of the ninja forces coming at dark when the fort believes there has just been another probing attack. If they can take the gate side of the fort, they can prepare the way for the army to invade and turn the battle ever in their favor. And this is where we find all of you tonight. So, like I said, this is going to be a series of the journey or travel mechanic. And you know the score. It's the start of the the preparation, river, forge, mountain. Each level of this invasion, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, is going to get successively harder. So at the start of this, it's going to be at level 2 difficulty, and I will preface each section as we go with difficult failures mounting ever rising penalties and possible damage. So that said, we're going to go ahead and get this started. All right. So level 2, pretty much for all the tests going into this, it's the night of the battle, and the forces are going to go out and harass the wall again. A group of ninja usually approach stealthily, maybe make a few shots, try and pick off a few archers before falling back, all the while being harassed and attacked from soldiers within the walls. You have heard the sound of and report of gunpowder and rifle fire those nights. Let's start off with this taking place and the forces. There are, like I said, a legion of ninja and forces from your homeland who have arrived here now. To top that off, there are also members of the adventuring casts and the ninjas of the Blossom clans as well. This is this huge swath of an army surrounding this fort. I want to ask all my players, where do you see yourself and what are you doing? Does anybody want to volunteer to go first on that, or do you want me to pick?
I can go first.
I was to say, our protagonist definitely has to be has something planned, I'm sure.
So I have an ability that essentially lets me shrug off arrows and ender gunfire. So while others are sneaking around, I think Chet is going to just start marching towards the front door, drawing fire.
Sunglasses reflecting the armies as he approaches the camera.
He'll like bring it up to the forces that are with us, and he'll take people with him, but he's ready to march in there alone.
It's like that scene where the bullet hits Superman in the eye and then it just like crunches and bounces off, but it hits him in the sunglasses.
Freaks me out. Anything touching somebody's eye freaks me out. Yeah. Flip you?
I'm the wrong way. Sorry.
1 second, everybody.
Guys, I'm real picky about the way my camera's facing.
What?
There we go. Hey,
Sorry, that didn't
flip
work.
me. Y'all, you're seeing my face. There we go. Seeing my face on the wrong side. I'm gonna
There you
confuse
are.
you about my good side.
I think all your sides are good.
I pay you to say that. So if that's what Chet's doing, yeah, I don't know. What y'all doing? Where's the dog? That's what we need to know. Protect the dog at all costs. Are we fighting ninja? Or is this just Imperial soldiers?
As far as you know, there's a very good chance that there are going to be golden lions present.
Okay.
There are also chances an executioners may be present.
Yeah, but they're ninja too, right?
They're kind of anti-ninja. Their powers rebuff.
Do they use jutsu?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to Kyo is going to find a place where she believes she's going to have a higher chance of interacting with other jutsu users, jutsu using opponents. because she has reflect jutsu and tainted ki. So if they use ki, if they're using jutsu, I assume that they are using ki indeed. So if they're doing that, then she's going to be with the group that is going directly up against, that is seeking out the Golden Lions and the Executioners.
Okay. So do you think you're going to be in the force that kind of draws the attack, or are you going to be part of the force that, like, essentially the way I see it? As dusk kind of approaches, a small force goes out and harasses the fort and then falls back. But the plan is that as darkness falls, as night truly comes, that one force goes out, harasses them, and falls back. But as darkness comes and they think that the fort thinks it's safe, then the actual force of the ninja will start to approach and merge.
Sure. I want to be part of a small covert team that is looking to subvert and seek out sneak out somebody, seek out the ninjas, the jutsu users on the other side. So I do not want to engage regular combatants at this point. I would like to be part of some type of, maybe there's other people that also have these kind of key tainting abilities that we can start. It's time to engage in some fuckery with our spiritual stuff. So our energies.
All right. So, how about Ronto and Guy? Within the structure that I've provided an idea of so far, where do you see yourselves?
You said the swamp was to the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, what does the terrain to the front look like?
Think of it as, you have this fort, and jungle, forests, and then like that last 100 to 150 yards between the forest and the castle is just open land, so that they can see anything approaching them.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a highly entrenched position that they are prepared for what could happen.
I think Ronto's been kind of hanging out in the more forested areas, trying to see if she could rally some more beefy animal friends. So I think she's been hanging back until she could kind of get a small little troop going.
Okay.
And she'll take dogs, she'll take squirrels, whoever feels like messing someone up.
There you go. And then Guy.
So, is it possible that we can have a bit of a flashback to me having solo infiltrated the fort as a performer with potentially a deception performance check?
Yes.
We'll get. You know what? I think so. Let's go ahead and set this up. Journey is what we're doing. So this could be the preparation step if everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
So preparation step is Guy getting into this and doing performance and everything else. So your difficulty, your base difficulty is going to be 2. Your goal is to start building up your boosts so that you can turn those into things further down the line.
Yep. In that case, am I going to be starting off the journey?
You are starting off the journey.
In that case, I'm rolling 9 dice.
9 dice. All right. Remember, every 3 past that base 2 is going to get you an additional boost that can turn into things for other people, or something for you.
Well, do we have any rerolls? Because I only got 2 successes out of 9 dice.
We do have 2 rerolls already. John said we could carry over what we had last week, so.
Yep, because y'all didn't really use a lot of it, so.
Then
another reroll.
I think since this is for the benefit of the group and to start rolling this forward, I'm going to go ahead and spend one of those rerolls, if you so please.
Yep, it's done.
Thank you. Let's try this again. Alright, much better, much better. So let me total this all up. That is 6 successes.
Nice. Okay, so that is going to go ahead and translate into 1 boost. Is there anything you want to go ahead and use that boost for right this moment? Of course, with the boosts currently, you could use it to gain some information. You could use it as something you pass down the line to someone else, or you could turn it into karma.
I'm going to use it as something to pass down the line to someone else. I just want to be inside to help out with whatever we need.
All right. So you are inside and acting as a bit of a distraction as well with what's going on. I'm going to say that you notice that the troops at first, when you snuck in, because you had to sneak in before the gates were shut.
Mhm.
And initially there was quite a bit of dread. But the gates closed and they have held back any attempt to breach as far as they knew.
Mhm.
Obviously not as successful as they thought, but they are much more relaxed now and do not necessarily sense the impending attack. So we're going to go ahead and say that is that +1 bonus coming, or +1 successes coming into being for the next person down the line. Our next section is going to be the river. In a river, the journey is all about movement. So now you are, the group has gone out, they have harried the enemy has repelled them, or so they have thought. And now it is all about that initial group of ninja to approach the fort stealthily and enter into the fort, or at least begin to their next section. Getting across that, as I think it was, let's see, who was it? There was Greg. Greg, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Said that it's kind of a killing field out there. So now you're trying to stealthily make your way. Swan took the first test in this journey, so who is taking the next one?
Well, I mean, I wanted to be part of like a covert thing, so could that be a covert thing? Would this now be the time to
Absolutely.
sneak in?
Yeah.
Sneak in.
All right. So idea is at least base one of your skills that you need to use is going to be stealth.
Okay. And let's see, what could I use?
It's really up to you.
I know, I'm thinking.
Oh.
I'm using my brain, Jan.
Mhm.
Let's see, so 2 for stealth. Stealth is not my strong suit. Ronto is definitely our stealthy girl. But let's do either travel or knowledge, or perception maybe, to be able to perceive where I think that these yokels might be holing up, so we could I don't know, F around.
All right.
What do you think? What you think?
So I'm gonna say again. Obviously, you're at a 2 difficulty, and sorry, somebody dropped in the chat, and I don't know, David. I don't know. You might want to go look.
Stop reading the chat, John.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's why I dropped it in there. So we have, 2 difficulty. You already have 1 automatically that has success that has been passed on, and let's go ahead and get that roll in there.
I know, but what I asked you what I could use, and I gave you some options.
So
and
I would say the perception would be.
Okay, there we go. That's what I needed to know. So, not a lot going on here, guys. Can I use a karma? We have 4.
Go for it.
Yeah, see, he was joking. John. He's stressed out, David. He's stressed out. He can't be doing these kinds of jokes. And yes, if you smell smoke, it's either my hookah or my brain. Those are the two options.
And Greg is giving us a karma, so one more karma at the
Nice.
table.
Okay. Just take that right back. Well, I got... so we already have one auto success, right? Because of the boost that he provided. I got a 10, so that counts as 2, so that puts me right at just 1 above.
One over. So you are successful, and your group does manage to approach the walls of this of the fortress. Now we're at the forge section of a journey, and the forge is always where metal is forged, and the pounding the hammer, however you want to think of the symbolism. But you're at the edge of this fortress. It is going to be necessary to scale the walls. There are guards who can see what is happening outside, so now it is up to someone to figure out a way to deal with those guards. And this is our next section of the journey. Now I'm going to say this, so it's 2 difficulty. If you fail this test, it is 2 damage to all players as the guards become aware of what's happening.
I think I have an idea. With my animal friends that I have been trying to acquire, I'd like to just get some real obnoxious birds to come fly up and mess with those dudes. Maybe some squirrels running up, just to kind of be... they don't even have to do damage. They just need to be annoying enough to keep them going oh, what's going on? If that makes sense.
No, let's do it. So for having the animals come in,
And we have a fearsome opponent.
Yep, the fearsome opponent will be appearing as your opponent to face as the final section of this journey. So, that said, though, I'm trying to think. Empathy and what? Survival, maybe?
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Would be empathy and survival. And I was hoping, I don't know if mechanically this would still apply. It seemed big enough for the boon for my clan, is that I could get a +1 or a bonus when the dog is an active participant. To which I would say, could Camu be that kind of helper in trying to commune with the animals?
Absolutely, definitely.
I'll take that. That gives me 8 to work with.
I was kind of hoping that
Gonna roll it. Everybody loves Camu.
phantom voices could, the resurrected animals could join too.
Ooh.
And that is 4 successes.
4 successes.
Nice.
All right, so that puts you over by 2. It's time out for a boost, but you do succeed in this test. And for Rue, you kind of brought up that you would like the phantom voices, like animals that they can summon.
Yeah, Sunjin or whatever her name was. She was able to. She had all of her little dead zombie animal friends.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to have around.
I will let you, just because it would be kind of neat, if you spend 1 karma, they are there as well.
I'm doing it.
Just for the... So imagine, if you will, everyone, as they arrive at the edge of this fortress, wild animals accompanying the ninja go forward to kind of distract or harass the enemies. And amongst them are now dead things. Imagine these zombie-like creatures. A bird flying with its head cocked at a very wrong angle, landing up on the ledge in front of 2 of the guards, and suddenly, I'm going to say, just for fun, explodes, taking both the guards out as the methodology.
Wow.
Yeah, the Phantom Voice's power is actually pretty cool and nasty. I love it.
Nice. I didn't know they can explode birds.
They can explode anything dead that is a part of their their flock.
Nice,
That's so
nice.
much already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did it before.
She may have. She may have.
Yep.
I remember.
There's a lot of cool stuff that happens.
I remember those zombie bombs. Zombs.
Zoms. Bob
So-
Zoms.
Z bombs.
You are now making your way up the walls of this fortress, heading into the final section of this journey. You are climbing, and this will be another task for. This is the final task of this portion of the journey. And as you make it into the wall, it turns out that the wall is trapped. Several traps have been laid here in preparation ahead of time. And it is up to whoever is our last player to deal with that somehow. Again, think outside the box. What would you do?
Oh. I mean, it kind of goes against what I was doing. Because I'd have to be sneaky. I'd have to simultaneously walk through the front door and sneak through the window to deal with the traps.
Okay, so
I'm not sure.
because we are in a narrative situation, you are aware that there are traps. You can try and get a whole, get people's attention and say, "Look out," or things along that nature as well. You might see, and I will say that you see somebody in Imperial garb, not known to you, but known to our audience. This garb would be the appearance of an engineer. One of the engineers of the troops has set explosive traps up, and you pick up on them being there, and it looks like you see like maybe lines of like fuses leading away from that individual. So take some narrative control. How are you going to deal with this?
Okay, let me see. I suppose I could, or Chet would try to knock out the engineer and see if they have plans on them to get a better sense of where and what kind of traps are set around the fortress.
Okay.
So,
all right. This is
fighting-
going to, fighting, but I'm gonna actually say to get to him is going to require acrobatics.
Okay. So fighting and
Fighting acrobatics, if you have it, or let
Athletics?
me.
Acrobatics is not a skill in this game.
Athletics.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jeez, John. What game
Well,
are you playing?
Could I
It should be.
argue? Could I argue speed for acrobatics?
I think that if you can give me a good description, yes.
So essentially, I'm going to just book it across the just from where I am at the tree line. I'm just gonna get to him and just try to like punch him in the temple and knock him out.
Right in the
Alright.
religion.
One right to the religion.
All right, 2 difficulty again.
Everybody knows the religion is in the temple.
Right.
3, 4,
Oh, because of
5,
temple.
6, 7.
Did it take you that long?
Yeah.
Justine, get out.
I'll mute myself
Yeah.
again.
Dawn's just like, stop talking about it.
All right, what was the total for Chet?
7.
7. All right, so that puts you over by 1 boost, which you can turn into a karma at this point or gain a little bit more extra information.
I'm gonna say extra information, so I can, because I imagine he'd have the orders for the traps that he's supposed to set. But
Okay.
I'd say with extra information, I probably know more about the traps that he's setting, and hope that they're like uniform throughout.
All right. I will say that you're aware that the entire exterior, right, the section that is right before the constructed portions of the castle, all of the lower, that last section of the stone kind of slopes going up to it, these smooth stone slopes, there are pads that have been turned into like the triggers actually for these explosives. And that's the information that you gain there. But I will also say, you see now beyond him that there are forces here on the wall that are mustering to face the ninja, and standing off against you and the rest of your friends is now a member of the Golden Lions. Chat purchased a fearsome opponent. So you are up against because it's all of you, you're up against one level 5 of the Golden Lions.
Gross. We're only
So-
level 3.
I know. So, that said, we're going to go ahead and kick this off. I know most of you have your initiative modifiers already known to you. Just correct me really quick before we get going, because it's your intuition and speed plus 3. It's a standard score. It should be, I believe, Tuan first, and then Justine and Steven are next, and then Roxy, you are usually
Kamu and I
Yep.
are on the same initiative. So it's a roll-off between Justine and Steven and me and the dog.
and it will actually be a roll-off with the Golden Lion and Tuan's character.
Ow!
So, wait,
He's a fast
initiative is speed and what?
So initiative is intuition
Intuition
plus
and
speed plus 3.
Okay.
And we just gotta tie up a loose end, spin, and chat.
Ooh, I will give that one away in a moment. Thank you, Greg. They're all going to love that.
Well, I had to
Oh,
tell
no.
him what it was,
Oh.
so I know what it is. It's already in chat.
Yep.
My initiative is actually 1 higher, so my initiative is 9 as well.
Ooh.
I raised my speed.
Oh.
That's a
Okay,
good one
well-
for this one.
I rolled a 10 on my my roll off for the
Ow.
initiative. So I got a 6,
You're
and then
fired.
Chet.
I got a 5.
All right. He is seeing Chet come in. He is going to go ahead and attempt to strike you.
What did Guy
Oh,
get?
don't we need to roll a dynamic dice as well?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
actually, all of you, roll your dynamic dice. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So we have 2 to start with. Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Diggity dang. What did you roll for your roll-off, Guy? Because you're part of that
I rolled a
roll-off.
6, and yeah,
Okay.
so I did not win that.
All right. I, as GM, I am actually with Guy. I am spending 2 of my karma that I had from the previous game to increase my dice pool, and he is going to be striking though at Chet because he sees you first coming up and knocking out the engineer. And I am looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits total. So rolling 5 successes. So you can roll a defense against that if you'd like. Probably a good idea.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get. So. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do fighting and fortitude for my defense. Sorry, how is he coming at me again?
He will be coming straight at you and striking with a fist that looks like armor. So a golden lion, it looks like a ninja, but they're covered in lion motifs, and it's all gold-colored armor. His arm is this kind of bracer that looks like a lion prepared to pounce with its claws out front, and he has 6 kind of daggers coming off of that one piece.
Okay.
So that he's trying to strike you with that.
So instead, I'm gonna do fighting speed to attempt to like do just like a quick back step so that it like almost brushes past my nose.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Actually, it's gonna
And
be
I'm gonna go
timed.
check on something really fast. So sorry.
All right.
That's
No
all right.
problem. No problem. You got a moment for your turn in initiative.
I also got 5.
All right. So, as I always go for my games, push goes to player. That's just how I run my streams because they're my players. The story's for them. So you successfully defend. With that, though, he is a ninja. And let's see. He will be spending some dynamic actions. And he will be attempting to attack again. He does not have the karma this time to back that up. And I got 4 successes on this attack.
Okay. Hold on. I got into the book. Can I, before he gets his attack, can I use my dynamic action for a counterattack?
Yes, you may. So that it's only 1 dynamic action. Get your counterattack in.
Yep. So yeah, I step back from his punch, and then I'm going to grab his arm and use the momentum of his. I'm going to use his forward momentum to throw him.
All right.
With fighting and. Would you take discipline as the second one?
Fighting discipline, I would say. Let me double check on that really quick. I would say yes, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Technically, no. Mental defense or concentration.
Okay, then fight and mighting.
All right.
Might and fighting.
Fight and mighting.
Fight and mighting. I don't know. I might not.
Okay, so throwing this dude, it gets 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. He is going to attempt to evade that with athletic speed.
Evasion.
And he is going to roll 3 successes, taking 2 damage and spending a he's spending a key in order to negate one of those points of damage. But his attack is still now oncoming.
Okay.
Is he doing a physical attack or is he doing a
Physical.
Attack?
You can use your key at any point to use it almost like armor.
Sure.
damage.
Yeah, no, I was just.
Okay. Chet, for his counterattack, you are looking at, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this counterattack.
I'll do like a fighting fortitude to just like do that really cool anime thing where he hits me in the face, but my face doesn't move.
All right.
It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I get 1 more because I lost 1 of my dice.
Oh no.
6. I got 6 success. To
All right.
take it on the chin.
So
Success.
you watch everyone around who's a part of this group coming up to the fortress sees this exchange take place as he moves with great speed and tries to strike you first. You dodge out of the way of that first strike. The second strike, you grab him using his momentum and try and throw him, and it's like he just comes out of him, shielding him from the blow and helping him to land a little bit better a short distance away. He then tries to punch you with his other fist, and the fist hits you in the face and does nothing. So this is what everybody is seeing so far within this, quick martial arts attack that's taking place. He sees that the rest of your group is also beginning to approach and surround him. So he is actually going to hold his last 2 dynamic actions as the rest of you all arrive. So with that though, it goes to the roll off between, who had the higher of the 2? Between
Guy.
you and
Guy.
All right, so Guy, it is on you at this point.
So I'm inside the fort. The fort is currently under siege now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of defenses have they mounted against? I guess our forces are on the field now and they've
Yeah.
engaged.
Well, you have a small body of ninjas that have gone up onto the wall
Mhm.
near the front of this fortress.
Mhm.
And the goal of this small force is to move it towards the gatehouse
Mhm.
and to take the gate in order to hold it open for the rest of the army to come in.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had
So,
imagined.
yeah, that's the
Um,
best way I can do a quick description.
sure.
Their forces, a lot of forces are inside the wall. Firearms, arrows that have been harrying the troops as they approach.
Mhm.
But there are also larger bodies of troops in different sections. Like this is not just a small, fort like we would think of it, like a frontier fortress. This is layers upon layers, going almost up a mountain.
Mhm.
Uh, and some of it is some of it's narrow pathways, but it's hard to say what all could be here. For all you know, you might end up going around a corner and running into cavalry.
Sure.
So,
In that case, would you allow me to kind of play with time a little bit more and say I did that we're seeing the results of some prep work I did or I attempted to do, in which I sabotaged some like maybe bows and arrows to snap in the heat of battle?
We do have karma to spend
Yep.
if we need to for narrative.
I would
purposes.
actually say for narrative purposes, spend 2 karma and absolutely.
Okay.
Then
And
yeah.
go ahead and roll based on that. I would say maybe deception and crafts. Crafts would
Um,
definitely be one of them, but or stealth and crafts.
Stealth and crafts I think was going to be the more appropriate one. And so that's going to be 2, 3, 4. So 4 successes on that.
All right. I am going to say that on their first attack, coming up, that if you run into a legion of troops, which is possible,
Mhm.
they're going to be at a -4 for their first attack, while they figure out that all of a sudden their bows are not going to work.
All right. That being said, they're trying to open up the gate as well, right? I have 6 dynamic
Your
actions.
forces are definitely trying to open the gate and hold it.
I have 6 dynamic actions. I want to use one of them to execute a jutsu,
Okay.
which is a median jutsu. That is going to be work smarter. That's yang and discipline. So my yang is 3, my discipline is 4.
And what is on that jutsu? What is your backfire?
Oh, I
If you
think
don't pass.
let's see here. Backfires are going to be a -1 penalty to intuition, I believe.
Cool.
Mhm. But
We have a karma coming to probably every player at the table. Just personal karma for everyone. Go ahead and mark that down. Thank you
wow.
so much, Revna.
Right.
Nice. All right, and so since it's a median jutsu, I believe that means that the difficulty is a 3. Yeah.
Yes.
In which case, I got 6 successes on it.
All right. So it's going to kick off, and so Work Smarter is going to do what for you?
Work smarter means that I can convert up to 6 physical skills with knowledge instead.
Ooh, okay.
And since does that count as a boost on activation?
It technically would, because you haven't told me exactly. Actually, yes, it would. So, well, it would have been 3, and you rolled 6. Yes, you got a boost.
In which case, since this is a kept lore jutsu, I get a +1 on +1 successes on knowledge skills for the rest of the scene. So, nice.
Nice.
Right? So that definitely helps out with that. So that was 2 actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means I've spent one of my dynamic actions. I want to let's see here. Race on towards the gate in
Mhm.
order to help assist with opening it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a challenge really quick between you and a group of soldiers.
Sure.
With that knowledge as one of your physicals, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is speed going to be your other with that knowledge then?
Well, so what would be the task to get there in the first place? I would imagine one of them is going to be a physical skill of some sort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speed is definitely going to be them. It depends on how you're trying to describe it. If you're trying not to
So-
be seen, it would be stealth. If you're trying to, if you're looking for the best route possible, perception. It all comes down to how descriptions go.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do
Ooh.
speed and stealth in order to get there as quickly and as unnoticed as possible.
All right. On my successes for the forces facing you, I rolled 2 successes.
2 successes, huh?
Yep. And as a note, we have the Tide Turns has been purchased in chat. At any point during this game, from this moment on, a challenge that you are facing, you can actually have an NPC, any NPC that you have met in the game that has been an ally, you can say that they have shown up now and they take care of the challenge for you.
That boar-headed guy
Nice.
shows up.
Your
Take care
teachers, the boar-headed
My
guy,
girlfriend can show
your
up, guys.
girlfriend.
Well,
Aw.
I
You're
don't think I
not
need to do that.
girlfriend.
Huh?
You're not girlfriend.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Ooh,
mean,
Tentacle Greg pointed out, oh yeah, the giant panda.
Oh, yeah, the giant panda. What about the kitty cats? The big old kitty cats.
The kitty cats.
I put it out there that any
How
NPC
dare
that has
you,
been a
John.
part of
How
your
dare you
yeah.
throw chaos into this battle?
I'm gonna find
And
someone real weird.
Corey, you asked, yes, you can actually purchase this multiple times for them.
Nice.
Crazy. So as for my stealthing past him, I got 4 successes on that.
Sweet.
All right. So that it's not a boost, but you do manage to succeed, and they are unable to stop you. The gate is being held open. Are
We
you
got
going to
2
use
of them.
any more? Yeah, we got another Tide Turns that has been purchased. Is there anything else that you want to do with this currently, or do you want to hold on to your dynamic actions?
I have 4, so I think I'm going to use 1 more to actually try to be the one to open up the gates.
Okay.
Little guy being the one to do it. And so, how is the gate being locked? Is it a heavy wooden beam? Is it like an actual lock and chain?
Let's
Is it,
say that think portcullis.
Portcullis. All right. And so I imagine there's like a chain that's been bound by a thing. In that case, little guy is going to going to try and do this all by himself single-handedly.
Ooh. Okay.
And so I imagine maybe like maybe, and since this is like this is gonna be fast, maybe might and speed, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
In which case, I'm gonna use my first substitution to replace that might with knowledge. In which case, work harder, work smarter, not harder. I'm using my knees. And so that's 2, 3, 4 on the dice, and then the +1 from my boost activation. So that is a total of 5 successes to open this door quickly.
All right. So, we're going to say that that is definitely successful. You have that. Chet.
Okay.
Just as a note, Chet has also bought Send in a Greater Spirit.
It looks
So,
like the greater spirit that's coming in is me.
that they
From what
bought
they
it
put in
because
chat.
they have to pinpoint where it's going to show up.
Ah.
So what happens is, as you are getting ready to fight, you notice that the ground under you is swirling, and
Which way is
part
it
of
going? We have to know what hemisphere we're in.
Oh,
part of
no.
the dirt clears, and you see scales under the ground. And so something is definitely under you, and it's coming. We'll go with that
Okay.
for the moment. That is where, because it does not have initiative for to act yet.
Okay. Well, seeing as this is happening, are there any other enemies coming out of anywhere, or is it still just this one lion man?
We're gonna say that right now it's this one lion man, and there are other enemies around, but this is your specific task for the journey, is defeating him.
Okay. So then, standing there with his fist still pressed firmly into my unflinching chin, I'm going to attempt to, I'm going to give him like a gut check. I'm going to hit him just
Okay.
like right in the solar plexus.
All right. So-
Fighting fortitude.
Yeah, let's go for it. And he is going to attempt to he's going to actually attempt to do what you did to some extent, and he's going to go with might and fortitude.
Okay,
He
I
got 4 on his. What did you
I got
get?
7.
You do 3 points of damage, and he is aware that he is now being ganged up on, or at least that is a opportunity that could be coming. So he is not spending a key to take away that damage yet. So he's at 4 points of damage.
Okay.
How much? How many? That was going to be your standard action. How many dynamic actions do you have left?
I've used 1, so I rolled and got 2, and so I have 3 left.
All right.
And I'm going to use 1 to attack him again. After hitting him, I'm going to do like the double axe handle and just hit him on the back. Now that he's doubled over, grabbing his stomach, because, it hurts when someone punches you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking doing might and fighting for this one, because I'm trying to
All right.
get him. Like, something's coming up out of the ground, so I'm going to get this guy on the ground. So hopefully it messes him up.
Might be smart.
Yes. Oh, ooh, yes.
It's always a fun thing to hear my players say. All right. So, how much are we looking at?
So I rolled 3 10s, 2 9s, and a 7. It's 9 successes.
Wow. He is spending a key to half that, so he is now at 7 points damage grand total. How many dynamic actions do you have left?
2.
All right.
And I'm going to hold on to them.
Okay. He is going to spend 2 of his dynamic actions to interrupt before anyone else gets a chance, and he is activating a jutsu.
Who is this? The same guy?
Yep. So if you want to, for Kyo, you can spend 2 to interrupt him and use your power that counters jutsus.
I'm going to wait and see if it goes on.
All right. All right. 1 moment.
1 moment.
And then for the additional. All right. He rolls all of a sudden to use Shuriken Explosion. And that is, he does succeed. He manages to roll and boost twice. So everyone who is in this scene around him is going to take 4 points of damage.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt and try to reflect jutsu.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
One,
So,
two.
up until now, the interactions with Chet, hitting him with that amazing strike that did so much damage, and then he pulls in like the key and from around the area nearby to shield him from that blow, but still takes an incredible amount of damage. And then it's like he takes that key into himself and explodes. He like all of a sudden like shots are coming out of his armor and out from underneath his clothing. Shuriken Explosion turns tattooed Shuriken into projectiles that go in all directions.
Okay, for mine, I did Reflect Jutsu, which was Young plus Discipline. I went ahead and spent my personal karma that was given to me, and I rolled 4 successes.
All right, and what's the what level of jutsu is that?
Oh, I need to actually spend the 3rd dynamic action. The level of jutsu is it's advanced.
All right, and so it's going to have the drawback go off at that point. Because advanced is a level 3,
Not 4?
so that's 5 successes
5
required.
successes? Can I use a reroll, guys?
I'll allow it.
You'll allow it? Thanks.
Jeez.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, sorry, it's 4. What did
I
you
thought
roll?
it was 4. I rolled 4.
4. So you did not need
Didn't
to
I roll
re-roll.
4?
Don't spend it. I made sure really quick.
I mean, I got 4 this time. If I did, I don't know.
Either way,
You got 4 last
you
time.
did not need that re-roll. So, what is the
Thank you,
effect
Greg.
of that power? With the
So, it sends an opponent's jutsu back at them, avoiding the effects entirely with a successful activation. Attacker would even need to defend against the original activation check.
they don't get that opportunity. So he takes that amazing blow of damage and this kind of like pulls all that key into himself that he's defended himself with. And as it starts to leave his body, it's like the tattoo's inverse, and all that damage goes into him and through him. So you see like all those shuriken like turn inside of his skin and shoot through his body from one side to the other. And he collapses because that's 4 points of damage he cannot soak. Kyo, you got the kill on that.
I'm not very good at much, but I can do it.
All right. That said, there is still whatever's happening in the ground, and there's a dynamic action still left with Chet.
I still have 2.
Yeah. So it's still your turn. So those dynamic actions can take place if you'd like.
I mean, and technically I have 3.
I guess if I can use a dynamic action to rally the people behind me to charge into the fortress and stay behind and deal with whatever. So Chet has a pretty good idea with the scales what's happening underneath him.
All right.
So he's going to get the rest of the forces in the fortress, and he's going to stay out here to deal with this.
Okay. So go ahead, and I'm just going to say narrative-wise, if you just want to spend the dynamic action, your troops muster, and you don't even really need to roll for that. They're going to move off, and you're going to take on whatever this is.
Yeah, and I'll hold my last dynamic action.
All right. So moving on then, it should be Ronto.
Yes. I think we all have a pretty good idea who the spirit is. Ronto kind of has personal beef with it. If it is, I guess it's underground still. Is that the case?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It is. You can see like the dirt moving. Like,
Okay.
think tremors, you know?
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to approach that if it's still underground. One question I did have, were the traps officially deactivated or were we just kind of warned about them?
Sorry, what was that again?
Were the enemy traps actually deactivated or were we just warned about them?
You were warned about them, but they're on the outside walls.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm not
Now,
exactly
I will
sure.
let you spend 2 karma to say that there are traps nearby
I'll take
that were not placed yet.
I guess are there still other kind of enemies around aside from the spirit underneath us?
Not really. Not at this point.
Okay.
Y'all are about to be moving on to the next section of the dynamic actions, your journeys.
Okay. If combat's kind of over, I'd kind of like to keep an eye on the snake or like the
Okay.
serpent.
So you want to hold your dynamic actions and everything?
I think so.
All right. That turns it now to Kyo and Kamu.
All right. But our main combatant is down, right? So we're just kind of chilling until this thing shows up.
Yes. I will say, as GM, you can strike it at any point, even though it is just below the ground. It's not going to provide it any armor if
Okay.
you attacked.
One question I have for you.
Mhm.
Just to remind me, because I did this wrong for so long. When
Mhm.
I use a jutsu, I lose a point of that key type, right?
Technically, yes.
Does it change my dice pool?
No, it does not.
Okay, so I'm spending down my key points.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So I just have to make sure I have at least one
Mhm.
of the type. Okay, cool,
Yes.
cool. Okay, so, and that matters to me because I have a thing. So let me do that. All right. I am going to, if I can see the clay or the ground moving and the scales,
Mhm.
I am going to take a chance and do stone lung on Buddy Boy there, and that is a basic jutsu. I get a dice pool of 5 for that. Let's see. Let me do so. See what happens. So with a basic, I only need 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 2. Got 2 successes, which says that Earth fills the target, suffocating them. They get a -1 penalty on all actions by target.
All right.
Yeah, so they get a -1 penalty on all actions. I'm sorry, I was reading stupid words.
No, it's all good. All right, this is stone lungs on whatever this thing is.
Yep, whatever that thing is in the ground, stone lung.
All right. So, is there any other actions anyone's going to take, Kamu or you?
I mean, so I had to use 3 to do I had to 2 for interrupt and then 1 to do the reflect jutsu because it is a dynamic action jutsu. So I only had 4 dynamic actions, and we get a base standard action, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I have technically 2 more left. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do. Can I do harm? Can I mold key?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how do I do that?
So molding
What'd you
key
say that?
is a test. It is a specific action that you can do.
Okay.
Let me find the rules for molding key really quickly here. So it's going to be Zen Mind. And I'm trying to find where it says. You're just from what I'm seeing, it is going to be you taking the action.
Mm-hmm. It is taken.
Generates 1 yin or yang key to replenish spent key. So it, according to this, you're just going to acquire it. There's no skill roll for it.
Okay.
But you have to spend the action. You're basically standing there drawing it into yourself.
And that counts as a standard action or only a dynamic action?
It counts as a dynamic action according to this.
Okay, so that gets rid of my dynamic action, which means on my standard action, and what I'm going to do is I'm molding key and I'm taking a, I'm going to take a yin, I think, because that seems to be the one that I need more often than not. And then I am going to go ahead and burn my last dynamic action, and I'm going to, or my standard action, I guess now, and I am going to use my jutsu Harmonic Flow, which is another basic jutsu. And it's a dice pool of 4. And what Harmonic Flow does is allows anyone to mold key and 2 extra times. So just letting y'all know, if you're gonna start molding key, you've got 2 extra things you can do.
Yeah. Key is also decided upon based on the environment.
I was gonna say, what is the environment?
So I'm gonna say that environment is currently.
Because it might be important.
Yep.
If I roll well. I didn't, so it's okay. Ooh. Well, it doesn't have. Does this? I don't think this one has a backfire. I was gonna say I got no successes and a 1. Roxanne.
I'm gonna say that there is currently, by doing this, you have boosted the area's yang.
I was given a reroll to reroll it, so no backfire.
So currently, yin here at the fort is at 3, and now your yang is at 5 for what can be taken.
Oh, really?
Yes. But that's between everybody here.
So I got a success on that, because Greg gave me a reroll.
Nice.
So I got 1 success, so I guess I didn't.
It's a basic, that should work.
No, basic needs 2, I think.
Well, it always goes off, but what's the backfire?
I don't think there is one.
For what is this?
Harmonic Flow.
Harmonic Flow under?
Way of the... Why? Why are you asking me? It's on page 118. I'm looking for it.
Alright, so...
Don't ask me questions.
Your backfire. Balance
There's
must
no
be
backfire.
restored. If the ninja has more of one type of key, they lose the key until both are the same. If both are already the same, they take 1 damage to either health or psyche.
Both are the same, so I will take 1 damage to my psyche.
Alright, there we go. And is Kamo going to be doing anything?
Kamu, and because I've been holding my action, I'm going to mount Kamu, and where the tremors have been building up, I'm going to make sure the 2 of us are standing on top of those tremors, so when this bad dude comes up, we're on him.
Alright. It is... Suddenly, the ground erupts, and out of the ground comes it's as if part of it is still in the spirit world, but it is a giant snake. It stands in the air, looming over you 30 feet. And it's like, but it seems to trail off into ether. Like, how long is it actually? Who knows? But you can actually see, like, about the first 30 to 40 feet of it coming out of the ground. So that is where we're at now. Back to top of initiative, and technically, all of you get initiative before it, and it does have dynamic actions and can interrupt, but it probably will not.
So we need to roll our dynamic actions.
Yes, all of you will need to roll dynamic actions. And we'll probably be taking a break after this combat. So just
Yay!
tossing that
I'm
out
hungry. I need a fill up. Well, +2, right? We get base 2 dynamic actions.
Woohoo.
Right, Twan,
this-
roll a dice.
This is
I
the
got 8.
this is the snake that killed all the Pack of the Black Moon, right?
Possibly.
Possibly.
This is a snake that's done a lot of bad things. If you've ever listened to the Assassination at Yanama episode, this is a part of that. So back from our old podcast, yeah.
I've been waiting for this snake.
Okay. We've rolled our dynamic actions. Me and
Yeah,
Twan did our roll off. I got 8.
got
You got
5.
5? Okay.
All right, so Chet, what are you doing?
So this snake pops out of the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to position myself where I'm in front of him. So I imagine he's like looking down at me, baring his fangs.
Yes.
So Chet is going to attempt to jump up to his face and break one of his fangs off.
Ho, ho, ho.
All right, let's see what you can do.
We're doing some
Thinking-
Chambers of Secrets bullcrap.
I'm thinking might and fighting.
Might and fighting, and he's just going to try to absorb that with might and fortitude.
Okay. Oh, there's those 3 10s again. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 again.
Nice. He only got 6. So that is 3 points of damage. He will be spending a. He actually is spending something that, as you break the tooth off, it's like you only pull off the outer sheath of the tooth.
Okay.
And underneath it is now a shiny, glistening tooth.
Oh. Rude.
But he does take 3 points of damage.
Okay. So I can't do. Next thing I want to do is take his broken tooth and stab him in the eye, but I can't do that now.
It's just a tooth skin.
It's
It's
just
the
tooth
skin of his
skin.
teeth. It's the first time I've ever actually seen a skin of a teeth.
So while I'm up here, I guess, with my fist in his tooth, I'm going to attempt to grab his tongue and pull him down to the ground.
So,
All right.
yeah, pull him down and then take the skin of his tooth and shove it through his tongue.
Yeah.
Like a tent spike.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That's going to be... Let's see. I'm thinking...
1, 2, 3.
Whoa.
I am.
Fighting fortitude.
All right. He is using speed, and he got 7 successes.
I feel like people are going to think I'm cheating.
You're not.
No, we know your. I know your stats, dude. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 3 10s again, and then a 9 and an 8. So that's 8. 8 success.
8.
All right, and so that is 1 point over. He is again taking an action, and you need to denote that while you have done an additional point of damage to him, you're now going to lose 1 piece of equipment on yourself that holds value. So saliva drips from his mouth that is caustic and automatically eats through anything. So it's either needs to be armor or a weapon that he's carrying.
It's his sunglasses, obviously.
Yeah.
Or your sunglasses.
Yeah, one
That
of
is his armor.
His iconic shades.
just one of my lenses.
You got an eye patch.
I will let that for 1 karma be just that lens.
Okay. Well, no.
Yep.
Okay. So
Because technically it's
Can-
supposed to be something that you can spend boosts on.
can
Oh.
I instead do 1 karma to have the sunglasses disintegrate, and then I just reach into my pocket and pull out an identical pair.
For 2 karma, I'll let you have an identical pair.
Guys, do we
Otherwise,
want
for
to
1
waste...
karma, you lost your sunglasses.
I
Do
mean,
we
you
wanna
do have that
waste-
personal karma that you were given. I mean, we have 6
Okay.
essentially
I'm-
total, so there's 1 for each of you, and then 3 more.
All right.
I'm personally okay with it because
I'm fine.
there
This
is no way that Chet does not stop at every sunglasses hut we pass on our
That's
journey
absolutely
to
true.
get a
That's
backup
absolutely
pair.
true. I'm pretty sure that I had to add a compartment for his sunglasses in the mystery machine.
We can't keep him out of the sunglass hut.
All right. So, yeah, you gonna spend that karma?
Yes.
How many actions you going?
So, okay, I've done my main one. I've done 1 of my dynamic actions. I have 4 left.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do 1 more. Now that I've got him on the ground, I am going to... Since I can't do it with his own fang, which is what I hoped for, I'm going to attempt to gouge 1 of his eyes. Just with my own... Just...
Absolutely, let's go for it.
And we got the karma back already, so we're good.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Let's do fighting and might on that one.
All right. He is attempting to defend against that.
5, 6, 7.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6.
I got 9 again.
Nice. All right. So you do another 3 points of damage.
And then I'm gonna hold the rest of my dynamic actions.
Just as a note for all of the players present, so grand total, you've done about 7 points of damage so far. And that is roughly about maybe less than a quarter of his hit points.
Oof.
So just tossing that out there for my players. He is now going to spend his dynamic actions to do an interrupt and attempt to swallow you.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So
I
go
know
ahead
what's on.
and I'm spending 2 karma to boost my dice pool.
Can
Here we
I interrupt?
Yes, you can.
I would like
Do it.
to, as he unhinges his jaw to swallow our pro tag,
Mhm.
and I have to, I would like to charge through with Camu, and I'll just go in the freaking mouth and try to punch my way out the back end.
Oh no.
Ho 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 ho!
Oh,
Really?
I
Like
have-
you're jumping into his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
is
that's a
Camu
good
coming
idea. I have pushing through the wind from my rhino style. The attacker suffers a -3 penalty instead of 2, while the fighter uses the sprint action. And I get to deal +2 damage on my follow-up attack. Does this count as a follow-up attack? No, it says fighter uses sprint action, and they deal +2 damage instead of +1 on their follow-up attack. Okay, so that's probably not the follow-up attack. So
I think it's
I-
saying, yeah, if you do a follow-up attack, you'll get a +2.
I'll do a follow-up attack. I'll do follow-up attacks all dang day. I got 6 actions to spend. So let's see. The sprint gives me a +2 bonus to hit, and 2 damage to follow attack. Okay, so I get a +2 to hit. I'm going to use speed and might to burrow out of his brain. And if I get swallowed, this was just the way I was meant to go.
We will cut you out of there, Rata. You and Kamu, we have to have you.
I'll fight myself. I'll fight my way out. I'll get it. Okay. So there is might and speed, and then my +2. And I guess Camu is with me, so can I take my +1 for my doggy?
Is he jumping in the mouth with you?
I'm riding him. Oh, does that mean I need to wait till his turn?
No. I will let this go.
Okay.
Because part of being Pact of the Black Moon is that you're acting in tandem with one another.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we run through. I've got my little fist out. Camu's got his mouth for chewing abilities, and I'm gonna see what happens.
So I've rolled 6 successes for their defense.
I've rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've rolled 5 successes.
Oh, your camera's frozen.
Oops. Hang on.
I thought you were.
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
still
she's
hear
kind of
me
laying
at
down.
least?
Yeah.
Hang
I think
on. No,
something
I'm
didn't
up.
notice.
I don't know what happened.
It just looks like you're having a real hard time counting all of those.
I am. I got 5 successes. Hang on. The camera.
Oh, side view. We
Bring
got
it
our.
back.
There we
Oh,
go.
almost had our exorcist cam there a moment.
I
She's got it
figured
fixed.
out which one was which.
We don't need ghost cam anymore.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay, so 5 successes. Do we have any rerolls?
We do. We have
Mhm.
2 rerolls, and you still have a personal karma, and we have a stack of group karma that's sitting now at 5.
Let's see. Should I just reroll, or should I just roll my personal karma and see if I can match him?
Can she do that? Will you let her do that?
Yeah.
It's the only
Alright.
dice I haven't rolled that I have for this.
Do it.
1 success. Okay,
All right.
so 6.
Okay,
Guys, go
so
for it.
tie goes to player, so you do actually succeed, but it doesn't do any damage because technically it's like,
But she got a +2 on her damage.
does she?
Yes, for the
That's what the rhino. That's
then
what
it
the
does
rhino
2
thing
points
is.
of
pushing the
damage.
rhino.
All right, so he still has his interrupts, but obviously instead of Chet now, it's going to happen to Ronto. So here we go on that.
And he's gonna have to learn what I taste like, so.
Which could be interesting. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes as he tries to chomp you.
He probably chomps me.
So you
let's
can
see.
do a defense action as your
I would
as a
like
dynamic
to.
action. I think.
I would like to. Let's see. I have 4 dynamic actions left. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do.
Well, remember, if you're not you can defend as many times as you have athletic skills. So, and that's free. It doesn't cost dynamic action to do that.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you for
I don't know the rules.
clarifying. Then yeah, I'll defend as he chomps down. I'll do that little thing where I'm holding his mouth open and I'm just kind of going "Ugh," that.
All right.
So I'll say athletics and probably might to hold.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, that is 5 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 1 for Camu, because I'm still technically on.
All right.
2, 3. I picked a bad day to make dumb decisions. That's 3 successes.
All right. So it is going to swallow you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, as a GM and somebody representing on the channel, I know that harm to pets can be triggering for some people. So Camu does not follow you into the mouth.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna say that right there.
Your player, your character, who cares? Your dog, get that out of here.
I'm
Very true.
He spits it out.
I actually, we've had players that have
I
very
know.
specifically requested that before. So
If
but-
you go on doesthedogdie.com for growing shadows, it says no.
That's right. That's right.
But-
Well.
it has you for the moment. You're going to need
Got it.
to get out of there.
Got it.
But you swallowed. I'm going to tell you how this is going to play out in a good way.
I want to interrupt if I can. unless you're going to say I can't.
I will let an interrupt come if you can defeat him. But just to set this up, if your interrupt does not work, you're looking at 8 points of damage automatically. You're going to want to spend a karma to half that to 4.
Okay.
Because in its mouth, it is that caustic. Just saying.
Sure. Okay.
So for Ronto, you're going to spend a karma if this does not work. But
Got it.
Kyo wants to interrupt, so let's let Kyo interrupt.
I was going to interrupt and do Angry Mother Protects the Young.
There we go.
And I was going to... Kyo was going to be like, oh, no, and I bolt over. And, I'm going to run in as I see this massive snake go to bite my friend and my best dog friend. And angry mother protects the young. I post up in front, which grants me a +1 armor against physical. Actually, it's +2 because I have 2 levels in that. And then I also have +2 armor physical because I have 2 levels in thick skin.
Oh, I would also like to add, I am level 3 with pushing through the end, so I also have a +2 armor.
All right.
While rushing. The rush is over, though.
Yeah.
So that would negate your... that would negate 2 points of damage in this first portion. So you would be... If you spend a karma, you'd be at 3 damage.
Right.
But what is Kyo's hope with this action?
To get in the way.
So you want to be the one that's swallowed.
Yeah. So
right.
I have 4 armor.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 armor and +2 intimidation. Can I intimidate it and be like, I
will let you try that.
Okay.
Surprisingly,
thank you for letting me growl at it.
Yeah, no. Surprisingly, it does have a high psyche, but it doesn't exactly have a high value to defend it.
Okay, then.
So let's see what happens.
Okay, then let me do an intimidation and what, guys? What should I do? Intimidation and persuade. Intimidation and
empathy.
I could do empathy. It's the same as my persuasion, surprisingly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Or deception?
My deception is better. Can I use deception, John?
Yeah. I think in this case, it's definitely you're like, rah! Be afraid of me.
Yeah, I'm like,
pretending to be
you
the
will
bear.
not eat my friend. All right, let's see what happens, y'all. Oh wait, and that was a +2 to my intimidation.
Yeah, it's it. Yeah, Moon Crow. It's like you're gonna be no. Push him out of the sight. I'm gonna be no. Push him out of sight. I'll be
We're just gonna go. We're
just
gonna.
gonna Spartacus this crap.
Guys, there's room for all of us to be eaten.
That's right. So I got 3 successes.
3 successes?
Yes.
All right. So he did not do good on defending against that. He only got 2 successes.
Aha!
So he is intimidated for the moment.
So yeah, I basically want him to recoil and not swallow either of us. I'm gonna get in the way. I'm gonna growl and yell in his face and be like, "No!" And I'm gonna boop his snoot and
spend a karma for that to be the additional outcome, as he does not swallow. But you still would take. So instead of swallow damage, actually you would take no damage.
Yeah, because I have 4 armor. God
well,
dang.
If you're not swallowed, you take 4 points damage, but your armor soaks all that. So there you go.
Ding.
All right. As this battle now takes place with the 4 of you, staring down this snake, I will say that you're looking up at it and looking past it, because obviously the head is way above you. Looking past it, you see up on the wall above you this additional slope of stone going even higher up this towards more of the castle portion of this fortress. Looking down from that wall, you see Onimaru. And that was a chat purchase earlier.
Mhm.
So they said the chat purchase was 5,000 points for tie up loose ends.
Well, I just scared one snake. We're gonna scare another.
So tossing that out there to our players. With all these actions that were taking place, I kind of lost track of whose initiative it is. I think it's still Chet's technically, or is it Guy?
Because the
Technically-
snake was doing an interrupt that got interrupted.
Yes, that got interrupted again.
So technically, it is still my turn.
Yes.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
So let's see. Now that all of that has happened,
Sorry.
I will say you technically could. You have 2 on the table, and I would recommend it just so we can take a break. You have 2 of the tide turns on the table, and you can have an NPC take the snake out for you.
Chet wouldn't do that.
I was gonna say, Chet let somebody
Aw,
else take out
okay.
his.
We
I'm
want to kill
gonna-
this snake so bad.
So the last thing I did was climb up on its face and gouge its eye. So I'm gonna say I'm still up on its head. And
Okay.
if it's recoiled back up,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to attempt. I know it's like a snake, so I'm not gonna break its spine doing this. But I'm going to attempt to essentially grab it like as best I
Suplexing the
can.
snake.
I'm going to try to suplex the snake.
Nice.
Nice.
With might and fighting.
Let's do it.
If he can suplex a snake and I can't punch my way out the back of its skull, I'm gonna lose my marbles. In a good way.
I only defended with 3. How are we doing?
Let's see, I got
You got 3 tens.
I
Yeah.
attacked with 4. There was a 7 hidden amongst the rabble.
All right, so you do 1 point of damage as you try and lean it back. Kind of throw out its shoulder a little bit if it had its shoulder.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna use another dynamic action
Questionable snake anatomy
for
happening in this one.
I'm gonna do another dynamic action for deeper cuts to you know what? I'm gonna use my last 3 dynamic actions for deeper cuts.
I think, unfortunately, deeper cuts can only be purchased once.
Let me look.
Let me double check that.
That sounds like some GM.
Deeper
shit
cuts
system.
cause 1 point of damage, only 1 per attack per target.
Only 1 per attack per target. Okay, then I'll
Sorry.
use 1 to do it once. And then I'll keep my last 2 dynamic actions, just in case I need to interrupt and run
Just
inside
sit on
a
him,
snake.
bud. Yeah, just sit on
All
him.
right. So, next up in initiative is Guy.
Looking so far, it's kind of messed up by now, right? Or is
Yeah,
it still?
It's a
kinda-
little bit messed up.
It's a little bit messed up.
A little bit messed
Yeah,
up.
technically, y'all have now done nearing a third of its health. So it doesn't look great.
Which
But
one of
it's
y'all has
not-
not spent? Oh,
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, which one of y'all has not spent your personal karma? I know
I have
Ronto and
not.
I did. You have 2, right, Chet?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, making sure I had my count. Sorry, go on.
So let's get going. What are you doing, Guy?
So what I'm thinking is that I was left at the gate, right? That's now open.
Mm-hmm.
Can I climb the walls to get to the nearest siege weapon and dispatch whoever is currently manning it to then train it upon the snake?
Technically, most everybody, the enemy has been driven from the wall as Chet pushed the forces forward. I will say for a karma, there is a siege weapon present,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'll
then
use
we'll
my
go from
personal
there.
karma for that.
All right, and so let's go from there. Let's go ahead and do an attack.
Alright, so I guess one action to move up to it, or right?
Yeah.
So one action to move up to it.
Let me double check my write up on that because it might be even free for that move.
Yeah, I can't remember if the movement is free.
So
I
quick
think-
action. Actions include fades, move, prepare, or touch. So yeah, we're gonna actually say that move to get to that. Nobody's blocking you. There's nothing narratively
Mhm.
holding you back from getting to. And plus, you spent the karma. nothing's holding you back from getting to that siege weapon.
Sure. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and use this siege weapon.
Nice.
I'm guessing maybe marksman and fuck if I know.
Unfortunately, that is not a skill.
Marksman is a skill.
Marksman is a skill, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
but
I know.
fuck if
Yeah,
I know is not.
needs to be. That's gonna. If I ever make a game, that's gonna be
Fuck
the
if I know, it's
primary
gonna be a
skill. Fuck if I know.
That there is a one-page RPG contest coming up.
It's a 20. Isn't it a 20-page RPG?
Well, there's the 20-page, and then there's the Zine Quest. Or no, Zine Quest got canceled this year. So anyway.
No, Zine Quest is in August this year.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's down. So, marksman, definitely. And I'm going to say technically might, but guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You have your power to use knowledge instead of might.
I do indeed.
So let's go for your marksman with your knowledge.
All right, so that's good.
So it literally is. Fuck if I know.
Yeah, literally.
Good to know.
All right, so that is going to be only one success. I believe we're on a bunch of rerolls.
Yeah.
We have 2 rerolls. Yes.
We have 2. Okay.
And you still have your personal karma.
Well, I spent my personal karma for the to summon the
Oh.
siege weapon, so yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to use the group karma for that. So.
That's fine.
But may I use the
You may use a reroll. Yes, indeed.
All right, then yes.
They'll give us another one. They'll give us another one.
And this is my last time I can defend this round for the snake.
So that is going to be. So that is going to be. Excuse me. 4 successes there.
All right. You do 1 point of damage. He has 3 successes.
All right.
If you want to up that damage by using dynamic actions for deeper cut, you could.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. Literally, he is out of athletics points. If y'all want to get some hits in on this thing, this is the moment.
And I will go ahead and use an extra action to do it again. Now, since it's a siege weapon, do I need to use an action to reload it?
Spend a karma. I'll say no if y'all got a karma that you want to use.
Yeah, we got plenty of karma.
All right, sure.
There you go.
And so little guy over there on the top of the wall is doing some like flash nonsense. And so let's go ahead and do another shot. And that's going to be 5 successes this time.
Nice.
Nice. That is a full 5 points of damage that hit because he cannot defend.
And I'll use another dynamic action to bump that up by another point.
All right. He is now past the halfway point on his health.
All right.
Oh, jeez. Now, guys, just now.
Ooh. I got 1 dynamic action left. Do I save that? Are there any other enemy forces around here at the moment, or have they fled?
They have fled.
In that case, I am not going to bank it. I'm going to use it now for 1 more shot on it. Wait,
All right.
hold on. No, I'm going to have to use it to reload now since I used that 1 karma, unless we want to use another karma to fast reload it. How much are we sitting on?
Oh, on our karma? Well, we just got another one, so we're back up at 5.
All right. All right. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to
I'll
use
let it
another
go.
1
Yeah,
point.
do it.
Streaming is all about, the audience
do
getting
it,
to
yeah.
help. So,
Right?
I know it looks tough, but I think we're winning.
Yeah, just remember, John's got like 7 GM karma over there or something. So.
Right?
no, I have been spending them.
Oh, you gotta tell me when you're
Okay,
spending them,
sorry.
bro.
I am down to 2 karma.
Oh.
All right. Now, unfortunately, this one, I only got 2 successes on it.
2 successes?
But he's
All
out
right.
of defense, so he's still just going to eat it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
All right. So that is 2 points of damage. How many points did you get last round? How many points of damage was that last round?
Oh, that last attack, I got 6 damage, I believe.
Because technically that would have been 2 boosts as well.
Okay.
Because he could not defend, so that counts as boosts.
All right,
So you could have actually done 2 more points of damage.
let's do
Kill
it.
him.
So you're now at 2/3 of the way on his health.
You're at 3 on GM Karma.
So.
You just got one.
Awesome. Thank you all very much, chat.
And so suddenly you guys see a rain of ballista bolts as Guy somehow kajiggered this ballista to just rapid fire like a Gatling gun.
Well, it's one of those multi-levels. It actually had
Okay.
a cartridge, yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay.
It's advanced.
So with that, I'm gonna interrupt.
Okay.
I'm going
I'm gonna let you
to-
finish.
The ballista bolts on this snake, because I'm still I'm still on top of him, still riding him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that the ballista bolts are stuck in him in a way where I could try to use them to wrangle him.
I said yes.
And I'm going to try to have him lunge, if he attempts, cinematically, he attempts a lunge at one of us, I'm going to try to redirect him to lunge at Onimaru.
Okay. I will say Onimaru is out of range.
Okay,
He's
well,
technically going, because the way the purchase has gone on,
mhm.
he's going to be your last enemy to face.
You see, I was
He's
going to,
up there.
well,
Hundreds of
okay,
feet, so.
then I'm going to try to get him onto the wall so I can get to Onimaru easily. Essentially using him as a siege weapon to break into the fortress.
Awesome. Let's go for it.
So let's do. I'm gonna say might is probably in there.
I will say that for every boost you score on this, I will let it count towards the next journey, because y'all actually do have a journey to get through the next section.
Cool. That sounds good. Let's do might, and since this game doesn't really have animal handling, can I do knowledge?
Yeah, we'll go knowledge.
Okay. All right. Hoo-ha. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
All right, so that is one bonus. He is almost down at this point. He has very little health left, and it will count as 1 boost to go into our next journey up the fortress.
Hey.
Okay.
What's
And
up?
then I'll say, Kyo, you know what to do.
Joe just remembered I cast Stone Lung on him.
Ooh.
He should have been at a
Oh.
-1 this entire fight.
All right. Would not have mattered too much.
Okay. Well,
but
I'm just saying. It's one thing.
Let me.
That's where all the karma. That's where all the karma that he spent went.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually apply that towards his defense, because that would have removed some of his defense dice to take
Mhm.
to act against that. So, guys, remember, we still have a journey going forward, but how would y'all like to do this? I will use that line.
Can we use the power of teamwork to each take a side of his jaw and
Yeah,
work
just-
together to just split him, and then the whole snake splits?
I like that.
Yeah, we're each gonna grab a fang.
Top team, bottom team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in the mouth again. No, I'm not.
Good idea. Why not?
Then yeah, we're just gonna, you know, rip him right down the middle.
All right. There would be a gush of blood were he a physical entity. But instead, as you rip him apart, it is, think, the sound of wind and like a torrential, almost tornado sound filling the air as you pull him apart, the spiritual energy being dispersed from him, driving through and out of this kind of canyon area between 2 walls within the fortress. Onimaru looks on, his hair being whipped by the wind, your bodies as well. Just it's your dramatic moment. And it goes calm, and his body begins to dissipate and disappear, pieces of flaking off. And this going off into vapor and ether to disappear into nothingness. You hear the sounds of combat now, continuing further up the ramp, leading into the castle. And we are going to do our next section of the journey for the next portion of the show, but we're actually going to take a 10-minute break, everyone. And so everyone go stretch your legs, grab a drink. When we get back, we have our last portion of the journey and obviously Onimaru up ahead. So with that said, we'll see you all in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right. Hello, everyone out there. Sorry I took us a moment. We were chatting and eating in a moment. Let me go take off these headphones. Because, I don't need those. I only need those
And
when
it's
I'm
also
talking to the
it's
table.
making two noises because you're not muted.
So, well, welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and switch over because we're now into a deeper portion of the siege. So I'll go ahead and switch up our music a moment here. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. We've had a great time so far, I think, and we've had great responses in chat. I know everybody at the table is really loving getting all the really cool stuff coming to them. But that said, so our table has now defeated this beast that has been on the side of the recoiling serpents since the Serpent War. This was an ancient creature that you have just defeated, and in such an amazing way. But you heard the sounds of combat coming from further up this up and into the castle. It is now dark. Your army is beginning to swarm in, and it is getting to a point where you are having trouble really associating who is who. Like I said, it is dark. Some of you that have abilities to affect your eyesight, it might be a good idea at this point.
Do we have that?
Some of you might. Ronto might. Right, you're muted, sorry.
I have scent, and I believe I can also apply that to healing if I want, but I'd have to pick one.
Okay.
I would be more apt to. It is a jutsu that I can kick off. I'm just trying to find it.
We do have
Bloodhound.
we do have a chat question.
Chat has a question.
It's actually in the Discord, and Garganite is wondering what he would like to have the troops pinned against the gate or the wall or something like that, and wanted to know if Turn the Tide would be acceptable.
And so this is in our Discord chat?
Yep, it's in the general.
In general? Okay. So let me just look really quick here. So what do I spend to have the troops pinned at the entrance? So for the most part, we do have troops that have moved further in. Are you, it really comes down to, I think we are looking to have them, the enemy pinned. Is that what I'm understanding? Y'all might have a better idea really quick for my players.
I don't know.
Because if it's the army that is, if you're trying to pin the Izzo army, to give a better, let me give it a little bit of an idea of the layout of the combat as it stands, or the fortress. You've now entered into this first courtyard of many. Nearby is pool, like a reservoir, large, as big as the castle that it makes up the furthest interior. This is what you're looking at immediately. And there are paths that lead away from it. Based on tales from the people that you've talked to, that you're trying to keep it ongoing from the wall deeper in. You don't want to branch off because there's farmland here in this fortress, and you can hear fighting coming from there. There's other sections where there's more troops and armory, and you hear fighting coming from there. And you see up ahead, the castle is still illuminated, and that's the direction that you also saw Onimaru, and that is where you think you should be going. But what we're doing at this point, I saw in chat there's a question, and we're doing. There is a part of it that's mass combat. We're also doing this as a journey, so that we can also incorporate more of my players and their style of the scene into what's taking place. So that said, let me pull back up where you are on the journey. Because we're doing a series of journeys to actually make this work for the narrative. Let's see, quick here. So we're gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and push to the next section. You're on a push to the interior, and the base difficulty at this moment is going to be a 4 for all the conflicts going into this next journey is going to be a 4. Make sure that is going through right. Yeah. So you have a general idea, but there's chaos. There are the Blossom Ninjas. There are the the former Lotus Coalition ninjas. There are military forces on both sides. Because you have the Adventurers cast that's here. You also have the Sakamoto warriors who came with the ninjas for this purpose. And at the same time, you have the Izu Empire soldiers who are trying to defend the fort. This is chaos in here, and it is dark. So we're going to start with that, and I need somebody to take on this first portion of the journey as we move deeper into the fortress. So who wants to do the preparation step?
May I?
Oh, yes.
All
The
right.
preparation step, I think it's good to rally the troops under one banner.
Yep.
And Chet's
Now
going to
remember, you
attempt
have one success automatically based on what you did in the last scene.
Okay. So I'm thinking empathy to rally our troops and intimidation to disparage their troops.
All right. Oh, and also, everybody go ahead and reset your key if you spent any last game or last scene. You're now in technically a new scene. And I want y'all to be capable of this. So you're going to be trying to get your troops together and at the same time demoralize the enemy.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about doing with that? Empathy and
Intimidation.
intimidation? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I got 4. Oh,
Nice.
'cause
Right on the edge.
I rolled 3 and I got my +1.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Now remember, you do have the 2 Tide is Turning purchases already out there so that you can have NPCs show up and take on the challenge for you. But I would probably recommend using one of those for the troops. That's going to be coming up. Just saying.
So,
All right.
yeah, Chet, he gets up, he gives a speech to unite the ninja and attempt to get in the head of the Empire.
All right. Not enough for a boost, but you're now marshaling the forces and everyone is moving together. We're now in the section of a journey that's normally the river. You are moving into this. I'm going to say that as you're moving into this fortress, off to your south, you see a great kind of pasture area, probably where the farms were located. And ahead of you is a rise. Like the roads are all merging together, going towards the castle. And so at this point, this is about movement and speed, maintaining that urgency. But at the same time, this is your portion of the journey. So who would like to take the next step?
I would like to go next if no one else would.
All right.
Would I have been able to find like a records room, or at least kind of know where important documents are kept in the fort. I'm hoping that I could find it and rifle around and find the blueprints to the fort, or even like a pamphlet with a map of it.
I am going to say,
I like the idea of a pamphlet with the map.
Right.
I'll
little,
say this. Spend 2 karma, and I will say yes, you managed to obtain a map. It's one thing to have made your way into where the armory was in the lower echelons of this fortress to entertain, but to get to the records room, which is going to be much closer to the castle.
Sure.
2 karma.
Are you guys okay with that? Do we have enough? How much karma do we have available to us?
We have 5 karma right now, so I'm good with 2.
All right.
You
If
good,
everyone
Steven?
else is, then yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
All right. For my players, you will now find a blueprint and picture of the fortress in our private chat.
Nice.
Oh. Guys, excuse me, I have to go look at the privates.
Should I?
You are essentially on. You have pushed from the door, which is at the southern end in the picture, all the way north. And I will also drop it for our viewers. If you are on the Discord, I will put it in Shadow Lurkers for all our Discord
And if you're
folks.
not on the Discord, get there. There's the link. We are a
Now-
growing and inclusive community of gamers and nerds.
Here's a thing. Should I take the map with us? With me, just like outright steal it, or should I do something very ninja that I haven't had a chance to use yet?
I think we need to do some before unseen ninja shit.
Yeah.
What is your goal here? Because technically this is a journey.
Sure. The goal is just so that way we know the most expedient ways to find our way across the fort.
Okay. So we're looking at probably what are you thinking? Knowledge, because you have a blueprint, and speed.
Well, so what I was thinking was I would use a jutsu to do instant reading and instantly memorize the map.
Okay. Narratively, we can say that it has already taken place, so you don't need to actually spend the karma or the key on that or anything.
Sure.
Nice.
In that case, then yeah, let's go ahead and for the actual journey, let's go ahead and do, I guess, knowledge speed to just kind of like speed read it.
Okay.
By the way, what are our actual like to-do lists in the fort? Do we know? Do we actually have a plan of attack?
We're just trying to clear out the Empire soldiers, and now that Onimaru's here, we've got to go and deal with him.
Yeah, I think the
So
plan
you
is
are
attack.
working. Your ultimate goal is to push your way to the castle, which is going to be the building at the furthest northern end. You have gates that you've had to go through. I will say that right now you have one more gate, which is a narrow gate before the castle, and it's breaking through the troops there. At which point you will be in the castle, and the goal is to eliminate the commander or have them surrender so that this battle can come to an end before any more loss of life.
Sure. And so, I'm trying to find and plan our fastest route to get there with the least amount of problems, hopefully. And so I rolled knowledge and speed to speed read this, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
All right. So 7 successes. So that gives you 1 boost.
All right.
All right. So there you would otherwise in this darkness you would have incurred penalties that could have come up. but instead you are moving on, and you manage to find a way, even in this darkness, thankfully with that map, to arrive at that nearly innermost courtyard before the castle. This puts you at the forge, which is going to be the battle at the narrow gate. So you see this brigade of soldiers that they are intent on standing their ground right here in front of the gate to block entrance. And because it's this narrowing area, it's defensible by a smaller number. But this is a journey. So how are who is the next person that's going to take it on, and how are they going to deal with this portion of the journey?
So there's just a bunch of soldiers at the narrow gate.
Yes.
Are any of them Golden Lions or Executioners?
No.
Okay. Then I would look at Ronto and be like, I don't know, this might be a honkin' bonkin' time. Just a thought. But if I need to go talk to them, I can.
Difficulty is a 4. I will say that ahead of time. If you fail this test, it is 2 damage to everyone in the party.
Got it. I'm not opposed to bonking. I don't know what honking is, but I can bonk. Yeah, I think
Just means a big bonk.
yeah. I think me and Camu, we're going to dart out opposite directions, and then we're going to come in on either side of this cluster, and we're just going to take them to Pound Town.
All right.
Let's see. I'm going to bring us...
So many questionable
Wow.
phrases.
We've had
Swallowing
swallowing damage.
We're
We've
going
had
to Pound Town.
down
Honkin'
Pound
bonkin'.
Town damage.
the best.
This is,
I think
this
Pound
is the
Town damage.
bad- This is the not fun Pound Town down.
I just
Pound
learned.
downtown.
I just learned last week we're allowed to say fuck.
Yeah. Can we all, let's just all say fuck real fast. I just said
Fuck.
fuck.
Yeah, people thought we were still on the PG-13. Yeah, sorry y'all. Sorry, we're not. They're all just like, man, Rue cusses a lot because it's her channel.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure Pound Town damage is what you did to that guy in your favorite moment of the. You stabbed that guy in the bum.
Yep. We can call it that. I swear I'll make this roll. I'm gonna go ahead and use fighting and might with a +1 for my puppy who's meeting me halfway.
Alrighty.
And we're we're just gonna kind of diverge, and then we're just gonna go honking and bonking, as Rue said, or Kyo said. Okay. Oh, look, it's when we're not doing dumb, super highly dangerous stuff that all these successes come out.
Nice.
Where were these when I was in the snake mouth trying to
Intervention.
push myself through the brain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, and that is okay. That's only 5. 6 successes.
6 successes, and we didn't have anything come over. Somebody's asking.
Oh no, John! Nobody's talking to you. Play the game.
All right.
Ignore the chat.
I can't. I want to always know what's going on.
Tough.
So,
It's tough.
you succeed. It's not enough to get a boost on this, but describe what exactly happens as you come against this force that is defending this gate. This is your narration.
Yeah. I think they're in position. We, in the night, are like 2 very quick little anime that kind of go out into the bushes, and we kind of make our way around, and we kind of use, while they're kind of like, oh, what was that? Both just come out into like a big leap. Ronto does, for good measure, have a giant stick in her hand because she has, of course, found one.
Of course.
See where she
All
found
right.
it. And she comes up with a big leap, smacks one guy, which just kind of has like a slight bowling ball effect, into the next couple guys. And while they are kind of startled, Camus takes the leap from the other end and gets a good chomp on somebody, which kind of opens up the floodgates for the rest of our homies to kind of come in and just give them the hurt, the big hurt.
All right. You just decimate these troops together between the two of you in this kind of pincer move. They fall. The army is there with you, all of you, but the gate still is standing. And this is the next portion of the journey. So we have who is going to take on this moment.
It has to be me.
Has to be you.
So what is...
The gate is here ever so often. I mean, beyond the gate, you have no idea. You guess there are fresh troops that are facing you on the other side of this gate. There is a hail of arrows coming from the castle, which is this multi-level building. And just from each level of it, arrows flying over the walls. Because you're close enough to the walls, now the arrows are hitting you. You see them just streaming past and over and hitting everything else. And so how are you... It comes down to what are you going to do for this scene and how are you going to act on it?
Gosh, it's not my strong suit, y'all.
Ask them really nicely to open the gate.
Yeah, is the gate is closed? John, the gate
is closed.
Okay.
Yes, that is essentially the challenge that is before you.
Okay, well, I'm going to use penetrating senses and I'm going to look inside.
All right.
that's
So
all I can
senses.
do. Are the walls made of gold? That is the important question.
No, and I will
Okay.
say that that goes off. And yes, you do see that on the other side of these walls are troops. But this is a journey, and so it is all about a test and a way in which you want to improve or change the narrative going forward.
Well, I'm not built for that, John. So let's see. I guess with my senses penetrating the barriers before me, do I see, is there a leader standing at the head of this group?
You do.
Who is it? Do
You
they look
see-
familiar?
No.
No.
All right. You see that there is a individual that stands there, is not wearing armor, stands in traditional robes of the Empire and carries a sword. Nobody is standing near this person. Like, they are giving him a wide berth, and it's one of those things where the spirit of the individual is enough to draw your attention.
Well, the only thing that I can think to do, and you're just going to have to let me roll for it, is Stone Lung.
Nice.
And I will do Stone Lung again on Broheim. There at the front of the party, the silver blade that's standing there being intimidating. So none of this jutsu goes off stuff that you keep trying to pull. Make me do something else. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to penetrate with my senses, and then I'm going to try to make him suffocate.
It's like the pound town of the senses, if you will.
If you will. So that was only a 2. But I didn't... Oh, I did get a... Oh, 1 only matters if it's no successes, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, it only backfires if you get no successes and you get a 1.
Yeah.
And we did get a tide turns in this.
Yeah. The tide turn that has been purchased is actually it was
Against us?
yes,
Or-
it was a request that has been made in private, so I will be
That's
having that come up here in a moment.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
So-
who's the traitor?
The individual
making it
coughs, and of course coughs and vomits out earth from their mouth, and the the forces around you begin to push past, and they are rocking against that door, this gate of this next section. And you see them push and push, and kind of think almost like pushing the cop car over in a riot. It's they're just
So people behind us are pushing.
Yes, they have
us
pushed
up
past
against the
you,
door?
and they are pushing the wall, trying to break open whatever's on the other side. And eventually, it breaks open and spills, and your forces are now going through and into it. You watch this individual who is at the lead draw their sword, and in a single strike, they pull out their sword, and it glances across everyone in front of them, and you see several people fall. And the thing that draws your attention as well is that many of those people weren't within 10 feet of him.
Oh, okay.
And so what we have our group is against, I believe it was Rebna, has requested a silver blade.
And his
Silver
blade has
blades,
reach.
yeah. And it is not a matter of key for them to do this.
Yeah. Okay.
So, at the same time, however, are going to come out a rush of other troops that have been hiding, and they are going to move in a pincer maneuver on the other side of this door. And we are now in a combat again with the silver blade and all the rest of you.
Okay, I think we need to call in one of our favors.
I have
at
a
least
plan
to fight with us.
I have a plan to do just that.
Okay, because we do have 2 call-ins that we can make. We have 2 phone a friends.
You do have 2. They do have 2 phone a friends. So,
I have
what are y'all going
to
to
call?
Well, technically Chet and Guy have to roll off because we're in initiative, right?
You are in
So we
initiative,
do-
but you can go ahead and call in the audience spy out for one of those for them to take on and eliminate one of the challenges.
Go ahead and roll your dynamic dice, y'all.
Got my dynamic dice rolled. I mean, I thought we had to do it on our turn. That was what I was gonna wait for.
Oh, to call in the guy. Well, he says apparently we don't.
Go for it.
Nope, you do not.
Okay. Well, while Chet steps forward about to charge the silver blade, there is a rush past him, and the sound of metal clanging against metal. And Bywin has stepped in to match swords with the
nice.
silver blade.
Nice. Yeah, you didn't think about that.
I didn't think that at all. So, one of the legendary sword masters.
Yeah, one of the 5 blades of the land of the 5 blades.
Yes, in the land of the 5 blades, one of the 5 blades has just arrived, thanks to audience purchase.
Gosh.
So
Yes.
imagine a silver blade as absolutely amazing and deadly as they are up against another person as absolutely amazing and deadly. If you've ever seen some of the most amazing, I know not the proper nation or culture, but some of the wushu fighting that has happened out there in cinema. Oh man, I'm trying to think of a specific one, but I mean any of them. Just the absolutely outrageous sword work and the swords moving and and the CGI, which I absolutely love when they make it look like several swords are attacking at once, even though they just swung the sword. That taking place. So yeah, my special effects budget does not equal what is happening on the battlefield currently.
Yeah, it's that one episode of C-Lab 2021 where there's an awesome fight happening and we're just watching people watching it.
Yeah. Yep.
The duel.
It just cuts to
would be-
us. Yeah, it just cuts to us going, "Whoa! I'm so glad I get to see this."
Yes, if you have not seen, I'm just tossing it out there. If you've not seen the duel with Ekin Cheng from about 10, 20 years ago, this would be a great example of that. Great movie.
Or C-Lab 2021.
Or that one episode of C-Lab
Yeah.
2020.
John missed the entire thing because he was indexing wushu movies in his
In my brain, I was going like, this one, Yeah, I absolutely love it. Anyway, I am what I am. So that
We know.
that battle is now taking place, and you do not have to face the Silver Blade, but this pincer attack of soldiers, which we're going to call. Let me pull up my book here a moment.
You're looking for a name for the pincer maneuver?
Well, I have to have my Imperial threat, so we're going to say that this is going to be some mercenary squadron. And now I have my stats. So, at top of initiative, everybody's got their dynamic actions?
Yes.
All right. Is 9 the highest initiative currently?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, we need to do a roll off.
I rolled.
I got a
four.
1.
I have a 4. Let's roll
So
off
they
again.
got to roll off again.
Yep, you and me.
9.
All right, you go first.
Okay. For my first turn, I'm going to use my Iron Shirt technique, which is the one that lets me ignore arrows and shuriken, and I get armor against bullets. So I have to do balance and might. So let me just grab my dice.
And just we had talked about it last week, but everyone in chat, we are talking about going over tonight, so we probably will not end at 10. We will be going over a little, quite a bit, maybe a little bit. Who knows?
John, I really want cookies.
I got
Take you-
5 successes, and so that's going to be 5 turns where that effect is.
Nice.
All right.
Now I'm going to use 1 dynamic action, run in, and just start punching dudes. I'm going to use Fighting Fortitude, or Fighting Fortitude.
Fight your fortitude.
2,
Okay.
3.
6.
8 successes.
All right. They take 5 points of damage as you strike out at a group of these soldiers.
It just looks like a wall of fists coming at them.
All right. So a couple of them fall on this attack, and think of it as a cinematic attack. You're up against a squad of these soldiers, but it's not. You're think of a challenge almost as high as that snake, but instead of it being the snake and the special abilities, this is soldiers. So they are falling down. Their bodies go boom. Boom. But this is going to take a moment for this combat to succeed.
Sure, it's a whole mercenary squad. We
Yep.
know. Goodness.
All right. Do you have any other actions you're going to go ahead and take?
Let's see. I've got. Yeah, I'll do 1 more attack on him.
All right.
Or you know what? They are mercenaries. We have someone who's got a lot of money on our team.
Oh yeah, can I pay these guys off? Are they that kind of mercenary? Can I make it rain?
Okay,
turn
I
the
will
tide?
say this. That would be a psyche attack.
Okay.
And yes, you can try.
Sweet.
Okay.
So I-
With that in mind, I think Chet is going to attempt to weaken their psyche. So after doing that, I'm going to try to do Intimidation, and I'll do Intimidation and Fortitude, and he'll just let a couple arrows hit him, and just show that they just break on contact with his skin.
All right.
Nice.
So intimidation, fortitude.
Yep.
All right.
3,
Double check. Yes.
6.
All right. So they are down 4 on their psyche,
Nice.
which technically is a boost as well.
All right, I'm gonna do an extra psyche damage to them, and then I'll use
Alright.
one of my other dynamic actions for deeper cuts if that applies with psyche damage?
Technically, it does. The way that everything is written up, yeah, you can absolutely do that.
So then that's 8 total from me.
So this group of spearmen who have come out to attack and believing that they might be able to repel you back out through the door see this display, and it gives them pause. Hio, if you want to do an interrupt, I believe is how this would work. If you want to interact with them.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so that's
2 dynamic actions.
2 dynamic.
And then I guess I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah.
Be like,
But you will make a roll.
so do I get the impression from looking at them that they are just hired guns? They're not even like necessarily Imperial trained soldiers. This is just they put some bodies in here as fodder to protect the castle.
They are a higher level of fodder, but
they're still fodder.
They're not Imperial soldiers. They basically are like, yeah, you guys hold this position, we'll go take the castle.
You! Sorry, I can hear myself through your headphones over here. I don't feel like I'm echoing you. All of you! Why are you defending? Why are you standing out in front of this castle? They have no love for you. They've sent you out here to die. We have one of the legendary sword masters of the legend of the Land of the Five Blades, and my friend cannot be pierced by your arrows. Why would you stand against us? You could fight for us. We have more that we could offer you with the Land of Seed and Blossom and the new government that is up and coming. Would you like to join forces with us and, we won't kill you?
I would let persuade empathy, persuade perception because you were looking at them, trying to get an idea of who they were, or persuade empathy.
Persuade empathy or persuade perception? I'm going to say empathy because I have more.
Okay.
Let's see here. Persuade? Yes, sorry. Empathy is 3. And then, of course, are you ready, John? Am I haggling or negotiating?
Yes.
It's 2. Am I trying to convince someone to let us into a restricted area? Yes, I am. Take another look. I'm asking them to get the heck out of the way. All right. So I have 110, a 9, an 8, and 2 7s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes. Successes, if you will. Successes.
Nice. I do not defend against any of those.
Haha!
Which means technically you get 2 boosts.
Sweet.
I would
Yes.
highly recommend going ahead and using the bonus damage.
I am.
All right. And also, do you have another dynamic action for deeper cut?
I do.
Get that in there.
Done.
They
Turn
back
your
off.
spears on your former masters.
All right.
You are free men now.
They see the forces. They hear what you have to say, and they're just like, "We already got paid this job. Might as well."
Yeah, that had nothing to do with what they're like. Yeah, we're already paid. It's fine.
How much karma do we have?
We have 3.
Can I spend 1 karma to have them look over at Bai Wen fighting the dude, and he's just like already won that fight?
Probably yes.
Okay, spend a karma for that.
All right.
Done.
Our final leg of the journey is into the castle.
My God,
Every
was that still my turn?
step is going to be 5.
Ugh, gross.
This
Okay.
is the most intense fighting that you have ever seen. This is chaos incarnate. This is people like sword fighting on the other side of the barriers, the paper wall barriers, as people are just falling through them and different sword fights taking place. So, as this throng of people are running through there into the building, this is the preparation step, which I would actually recommend finding each other somehow in the midst of the throngs of all of what's going on. So, who would like to take the first step of this this journey?
So we're fighting up the stairs, you said?
You're going into the castle, and like I said, there is this throng of people falling over each other, going through walls. You see ninja of every variety. You see people, soldiers fighting soldiers. It is just insane here.
Okay. You were saying, Ronto, I'm sorry I cut you off.
I had an idea for gathering us. Camus can use scent. And could I also spend a karma to use some of Ronto's secret sauce, aka her smelly dirt, and say that prior to the battle, everybody got a little bit of dab so that I could find you in a rough patch. Or Camus could find you in a rough spot.
Nice. Sorry, he's typing something.
Oh,
No,
that's
I
okay.
think for the finding, let's go for it. So, what are the skills you're going to use?
It'll be perception and then I guess I don't want to say stealth. Could I use perception and then speed to wrangle everybody up?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And then let's see. So that's going to be 4 and 4. And we'll use Camus' nose for the additional dice. And I also get a +1 to do spot checks. Can I apply that as I try to pick my friends out from the chaos?
Yeah.
I say yes.
Just
I'm gonna start. If he doesn't answer quickly enough, I'm just gonna start answering for him.
Just double checking. Okay. So I think that should be good. And did spending the karma to apply the scent, does that give us any bonuses to this as well? Or would you say that's more just for like flourish?
I'm gonna say because you're looking at a pretty high difficulty to go with. Let's get it in there
Okay,
because
sure.
5 is a pretty high difficulty for this.
Okay. I've got a handful of dice, and I will roll. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
So that is a boost as well. You can
Nice.
turn that into a future success for the group. You can turn that into a karma.
We could use the karma.
You want to go with karma?
Well, the boost actually is probably more beneficial because of the 5 limit, or from the 5 minimum. So
I was
Yay.
I was thinking potential future success.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, then let's do that. We'll say, bank it for future success. As Camus, Ronto jumps on Camus. They ride, grab Guy out of the crowd that he's drowning in. Kind of give Kyo and Chet a good bump as they bump by, and then slow down so that everybody can kind of match the pace, and they now know where Camus plus Ronto and Guy are as we head through the chaos.
All right. You managed to grab your friends, and you are now pushing further into the castle. You actually make it into a large courtyard area. Fighting is going on everywhere here too, but you now also see staircases going up. And you know that more than likely the leadership of the castle is going to be on a higher level than this ground floor. So this is about next person. You're looking at 5 successes to move up to the next level. Fighting is taking place. If you do not succeed, everybody takes 2 points damage. So who wants the next step in this?
Well, thanks for just throwing that out.
Is-
If you screw up, we're all screwed.
2 points damage isn't so bad. You can spend the key to negate
So this
half.
is
We
the
also-
same journey, or
We also have one more step in.
Y'all also have another
We
karma that
do.
just got added.
Oh, so we're up to 4 karma now, y'all.
Okay, I'm
Actually,
thinking.
we're up to 5 karma.
So I could,
Karma's
I
coming
could-
in. Sorry.
I could take this one. Try to
And-
do.
And remember,
Speed.
this is all about the story of what's taking place as well. You could easily say, "Well, I'm looking for the best path up," and use travel and perception. It doesn't require combat.
So, I
Okay,
was.
Thank
You know,
Chad.
if anyone else wants to take it, they can take it. But I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
So
Yeah,
I'm thinking
bring it on,
just
sir.
like
You got
speed and fighting to just bull rush my way through the crowd, knocking everyone to the side like a bunch of bowling pins.
Let's go for it.
it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Haha.
All right. Not enough for a boost, but enough to move on. You manage to knock everyone out of the way and push with your group up the staircase. Guards falling over the railing. The sound of Wilhelm screams going off everywhere.
Yeah, I sonic spin dash up the stairs.
Nice.
All right. So that takes us to our next step. And that is, you think that you may be on the level where the commander could be.
Guys, we're finally on the level.
So now it's all about finding them.
Is there, okay. Can I, this is just a suggestion, fam. Can I use, that wouldn't be good enough. I was gonna say, can I use penetrating senses to see if I can locate them? But is there like, this is a pretty big level, right? So there's lots of rooms that I have to be looking through.
It technically is. And what's the range on it?
My yen, which is only 2.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
Oh, so if I might have it crack at this.
You have a map, yeah.
Well, so having a map is one thing, but trying to kind of predict where someone might be is another thing as well. Would you allow me a deception intuition roll in order to suss out where they would hide in a way that they can be accessible but yet not easily found by someone unknown, unallied with them?
Okay. What? So you're spending a karma for that, or?
No, he was gonna do an intuition
Okay, intuition.
deception.
Yeah, intuition deception to kind of
to-
reverse.
Oh,
it.
to try and figure out.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I thought you were saying so. That's what they're doing. All right. Yeah, let's go for it.
All right then. Let me get into the head of this commander.
Intuit their deception.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Nice.
Okay, so that got you over. You're over the limit. So that's 5. Not enough for a boost,
Mhm.
but you spot the commander, and you also spot with them Onimaru. And they are moving along. They have moved out and onto the roofing on the side of this backside of this castle. You think that one of them at least, might be trying to get away.
I see him. There he is.
And so this is where we're going to go into our final battle. So it is the 4 of you versus Onimaru and this commander.
Guys, who do we want to be our second help? Or do one of you have an idea you want to surprise with in the middle of
I
combat?
had a thought, but I don't know if it's really all that exciting. Feel free to shoot it down. I'm not
Bro.
married to it.
Throw it in the secret chat.
Throw it in the
Keep it a-
secret
keep it a
chat.
secret from John.
Secrets.
Okay.
Secrets.
Yeah,
John,
I
don't
can't go look
freaking-
at it.
He's looking at every other chat except for the one that might be useful.
Well, if I pull up that chat, because the one that they want to use, it messes up the layout.
Oh.
Yes, you have a secret chat that not even I can see.
I knew you were gonna boo it.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of awesome.
My thought was time to make up for some shit. But
Yeah,
I'm also not
redemption
married
arc.
to it.
Guys, we're just gonna have this conversation right in front of you. Redemption arc.
Tantalize the audience.
We're titillating the audience. Oh,
Should we just vote for it? Unless somebody else has another idea?
You know what? You know what? Do a chat poll. It
Oh.
just
Okay.
says, should we do it? Yes or no.
I like
I'm
it.
going to. I'm going to chat poll.
I hope it doesn't disappoint me.
It has to
Sorry,
work.
that might have been loud.
He let him buy it. It's a 2-minute poll. Oh, thank you, Otter Poet, for cheering. We really
Nice,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Have a good night. Thank you for joining the Discord and joining us tonight. We love this game. So yeah, chat poll is up there. Yes or no, and then but yeah, well, let's go ahead and fight, because I was saying let's get them ready.
Yeah.
Let's get our ace in the hole on deck, and honestly, I thought they were gonna show up earlier, and I'll tell you guys later why. But
I'm being nice. I'm not even going to look to see
You
what
can't-
the
you
audience responds to.
all it says is yes or no. They don't know what it is either.
Oh.
So I'm being
Well,
nice.
I can't look at what the majority is ahead of time.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
going to. I could.
I'm looking.
I want to be surprised.
So
I know the answer.
let's do roll our dynamic actions then.
Yep. Is it a bad decision to do it?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how we operate. So
That's how I ended up almost getting eaten and finding out about
Aw, man, I
swallow
only got
damage.
one new dynamic action. What a lame roll. And then if you
Hey,
all want to do your roll off.
Oh yeah. Oh, I rolled a 1.
I got an 8.
All right. So depending on what do you guys have? What do you guys got? Huh? What do you guys, John? What do you
For
guys
our
got?
dynamic actions, mine's
No,
on
not dynamic actions. What's your initiative?
initiative for my guys.
Yeah, it was
is 9.
So you're on the same one. So you have to roll
Yeah.
off with Chet and Guy.
Sorry. You.
Guy got an 8. Chet got a 1.
I got a 7, so somebody's going before me.
Both of your guys go on the same initiative.
The commander doesn't go. He unfortunately is at a 5.
Okay, cool. Loser.
It's only on a mark.
Okay. Chat,
100%.
chat says we should do it. Yeah. So when do we want to call him in? Do we want to call him in now?
It was Justine's call. I'm gonna let her.
Justine,
make that.
you determine.
I want to know what's going on.
Oh, it's sucks to not
I'm
know what's
DMing
happening, huh?
now. I'm the GM. When's he gonna come in? Can we hold action until Onimaru makes his first strike and
Sure.
this character can come in and interrupt?
Sure. Yeah.
Just for a little bit
Okay.
of flavor.
So just be ready for that, John. Just
I've-
throw that into your
Okay.
narrative.
All
I
right.
pre-prepped the interrupt for you.
That's right. Pre-prep the interrupt.
Let's get this
That's gonna
sale
be a
going
shirt
then.
too. Pre-prep the interrupt, kids.
All right. So, who beat me on initiative?
Guy.
I
So,
believe
Guy.
that was me. So I am going to step forward and bravely say, "We're not scared of you," and then just kind of hold my action there.
Oh. Okay. Well, if you're holding your actions at that point, that is the moment Onimaru would get to act.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as within moments, he sheds his skin and turns into a humanoid snake. Where his legs were, essentially, they elongate and become a tail. His arms become serpentine and have fangs sticking out of him. His face itself becomes that of a hood of a cobra as he looks at him. And he gets ready to strike, and then what happens?
All right. Then I think, unless you've got an idea, Justine, I was going to say this person does the same thing. Because he can do that, right? As far as we know. Isn't Koga an Animorph?
Is Koga an
Animorph?
Oh, just his hands?
Yeah,
okay.
Koga has the ability to do the fangs from the hands.
Koga's coming in.
That was my thought, was the first attempt at a strike that Onimaru makes. Koga does that little thing where he ejects the bones or whatever, going choo-choo-choo-choo, and they hit the ground, and then Koga comes in, and Koga's here for his redemption arc.
Yep.
All right, so Koga steps in and takes on Onimaru. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay,
Yep.
I like that. That is cool.
See, that's why we didn't want you to know. We wanted you to be surprised, John.
One moment.
Be more surprised. Act more enthusiastic about this.
And then,
I want to get you cookies.
And then afterwards, if he wants,
sorry guys,
Chet can kill Koga if he feels like it.
And it happened during, the enemy could have.
It was an accident.
Anybody could have done it.
Yeah, Koga defeats Onimaru. Kyo and Chet share a pointed eye contact, and Koga expires suddenly.
Or just gets incredibly bullied.
Incredibly, but we kill his spirit. That's what we do.
The fight at first, as Koga, fights him, this Naga form that Onimaru has taken on grants a great deal of bonuses. His speed the moment he does this goes 4 points higher. So he is all of a sudden a fairly terrifying thing to watch. But Koga draws a chain weapon and begins spinning it around and uses that and the increased defense that comes with the way of the chained weapon as far as a combat style is trying to offset that. And you watch that he is trying to trip him up and begins to strike at the shingles to create an uneven surface, which eliminates the bonuses. If you can fight, neat thing that you watch and you learn, oh hey, if you can fight somebody on slick ground, all the bonuses that come from being in the snake form go away. Snow, rain, broken shingles.
Oh.
And so Koga is using his knowledge of everything to his benefit. And at the same time, the commander cannot act in this moment. And you watch as Koga, in the right second, tricks Onimaru and backlashes with the chained weapon and hits him right in the jaw. And between both lips, right there, and hits him, breaking the jaw downwards. And
I want to know how I got these scars.
Onimaru begins to use one of his special jutsus, and you watch as the flesh boils and begins to fall off, and a fresh Onimaru is underneath it, back in his human form. And it's at that moment that Koga bull rushes him and tackles him off of the roof.
Good night,
Nice.
sweet prince. See, we take care of both of them at once.
You all have your actions with this commander still up here. There's nothing really too special about him other than he has a high psyche and he commands these troops.
And we know his initiative is below all of ours, so let's just tear this guy up. Just chew on him.
Get your hits in.
All right.
So I take it it's my
I
turn.
think it's you, Chet. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless Guy wants... You held your actions. Do you want to do anything first? I think you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Let me go ahead and try a psychic attack of my own. Let's see here. I would like to do persuasion, intimidation, to say, we have friends like that. You probably best step aside.
That was our friend. There's more where that came from. We're friendly.
As long as chat has points. Nope. I rolled 5.
Now, unfortunately, Guy is also small, so he's very not intimidating. And so, I only got 1 success.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to spend 2 and interrupt.
Okay.
And I'm going to run in front of Guy and I'm going to go, and then I get to roll an intimidation. So,
And Revna, chat. I meant chat, not chat. As long as chat has points. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said. I was like, why just what Chet points then?
Chet has secret points.
Chet has secret points. So I get
Jutsus.
3 for intimidation.
Look at all these points I have.
Look at all them points, yo.
Dude.
And then
All their chakras.
I'm gonna do deception, intimidation for this, and
Alright.
yeah, that's what
Let me
I'm doing.
look. Does he have enough speed to defend? Technically.
Guys, can I use our last
But he
reroll?
can't use that one dice.
Use it.
Okay, there we go.
Do it.
Go for it.
Use it.
Ooh. 2 on me.
Make this man cry.
I got a reroll. So. Oh, that baby crying. This is that's 5.
5 total.
5 total.
So you do 3 points of psyche damage.
3 points of psych, and it's a boost, John.
Yes, it is actually. So you can not put that up 1 more point.
I do. I'm gonna put that up 1 more point.
All right. So yes, he is technically crying. He's not defeated, but he's like, oh boy.
I have one thing I would like to say after I growl in his face and he starts to cry as my bear persona just comes out. I'll be like, by the way, I'm 17, motherfucker.
And he just drops some money on it.
Yeah, just a bag of coins. Yep.
Go buy yourself some tissues.
Yeah. Need a Kleenex. I
All right.
brought some in my school supplies.
That's it. So you have the interrupt in. She steps in and this growls at this guy as you're standing on this, on top of this roof leading away from the building. And he stumbles backwards, tears coming down his eyes. He is not prepared. He didn't know what Anumaru was planning. He's looking over the edge where he had just fallen, and he's just like, I'm not doing that. Is there anything else y'all are going to do?
Yeah.
Who's next? Technically, yeah, Chet, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do a might intimidation roll to walk up to him, grab him by the neck, and hold him over the edge of the roof and tell him to call his men off.
Let's go might intimidation, see how it works out.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. He had 0 successes. He
And I'm gonna
calls
use-
the army to surrender.
Yeah, I
This is a
use my
broken
boost
man.
to deal that extra damage. We found our stride making grown men cry.
Yep, that's
Watching you two work is just like, I'm just sitting here watching.
You hear horns sound all across the, all across this fortress. Like horns begin to sound as they're like calling an end to all of this conflict. And yeah, it is deep into the night. There are still pockets of resistance. Some people just do not want to give up. And sometimes some people don't want them to give up. But as the dawn comes, your forces have captured a large, contingent of what was left of the army here. The leaders of both armies come together, and not by armies I mean the Lotus Ninja and the Blossom Ninja, and some mild pleasantries are exchanged, and the Blossom Ninja say that they will join you in the combat for facing the Emperor. But they do request that all these prisoners, of war, be removed from their land, and they ask that the Lotus Coalition do such. Over the course of days, you and your carts and your mules board a series of barges, and you make your way away from the lands of Seed and Blossom. Find yourself back in the Southern Empire of Sakamoto.
Is she calling her government an empire too?
Technically, they don't know what else to call themselves, I'll be honest.
Kyo counsels them that is not a good move.
But at this point, you have succeeded finding new allies. And now comes the question of striking north and facing the Emperor himself.
I don't think that's a question, is it?
Just a question of how you're going to do it.
We have the Emperor killing weapon in Guy's forehead.
So that is where we're going to actually call it for tonight. That said, if you want to drop in chat, if chat wants to pick somebody for for an extra point of XP going forward, we're going to do our base 3. Starting off, everybody's going to get 3. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing, and to tell me what you. Let's go ahead and ask. What do you feel that you learned or took away from this game tonight for your next one? Starting off with, I'm going to go in reverse order, kind of. Can I start off with Guy?
Never
See
start.
here. I would say that when the chips are down, Guy can get in there in the action with everyone else. He's not going to be great at it, but he's definitely going to be able to at least contribute something.
Cool. How about Kyo?
Something I learned?
Mm-hmm.
That we're badasses? No.
Something you took away from this combat. Something that you never experienced before. It could be anything.
We have friends that will come to our aid. Like, we might actually have allies. Which is kind of weird, because, I mean, we've had them, but they've always only been our ninja, like the Lotus Coalition or Chet. And maybe a small contingent of Enlightened, but it's primarily just been us. And so honestly, she's kind of surprised that it worked. She can talk a big game and can put forward a very confident appearance when it comes to diplomacy and negotiating and things like that. But inside, she is a 17-year-old girl who is like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. so the fact that it worked and that they have friends that and her friends were an integral part of aligning the land of Seed and Blossom and the new government is pretty badass.
Yeah. So how about Ronto?
Don't jump in the snake's mouth. uh,
It's
because
definitely
of
something to know.
swallow damage. I think
Swallow.
to still in that same vein, Ronto is realizing how much she relies on the group effort of everyone in that combat, because that would have been the end of her if Kyo hadn't interrupted. It probably would have been the end of all of us if Guy hadn't gotten on the ballistas and done the heavy damage, and if Chet hadn't been able to kind of like bring on the fight and start the heavy damage to begin with. Um, she's she needs to work with the teamwork in mind and not just jump into the snake's mouth.
Probably a good idea, and because they did not get to hear it in chat. The ability that was taking place is called Saliva of the Gods.
It's gross, guys. It's gross.
And yeah, that's wonderful. And at the same time, the write up in the book is that you can actually do more damage if it starts to contort while the person is inside of them. So that's always fun. But then Chet, what do you think your character learned this game?
Chet learned that war is super easy, actually, and he doesn't understand why everyone's been having such a hard time fighting this daggum emperor.
I don't know. But definitely something you can say you learned, I guess. I mean, this didn't go off horribly.
Yeah, I want to
survived
say you're
really
wrong, but
well.
you're not.
Yeah,
I
we kicked.
So there is that. And so for the for our chat chose two winners. So for the extra XP,
Chanto.
yep. So Chet and Ronto.
Yay.
And then for my players, who do you think really had a standout moment or impressed you this game that deserves that extra XP?
I mean, everybody impresses me all the time, but I will say I felt like guys, being willing to get in front of everything at least twice. I think. I think that was pretty impressive for Kyo.
I really
would
do agree,
say-
but yeah, keep going.
Guys' forethought to sneak in to the fortress before the
Mhm.
battle started is the reason that he's getting my vote.
Cool.
Same with me. Guy being on the ballista, Guy thinks smarter, not harder, which is the opposite of me. And that still stuck out as soon as Guy was like, "Oh, we could just get a heavy duty weapon and shoot the problem down." And that honestly was really critical in that specific fight, and Guy continues to do things like that in this episode and other episodes.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
But Guy, who do you vote for? Who do you like
yeah,
the
yeah.
most? That's what we're asking.
Yeah,
I appreciated Ronto's YOLO moment.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna. Actually, I think punching through the snake's skull would have been really cool. John just wasn't gonna let you do it.
I know.
it would have been cool, but technically it takes a certain amount of damage to do that.
I'm just saying, we all watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and we know that its skin is just as tough on the inside as it is on the outside.
Yeah. But so that means that everybody is walking away with 5 XP. Except technically Kyo, you got 4.
Yeah, I got 4.
But that puts us done in this portion of the campaign. We now have the Emperor up ahead. And wow, I'm thinking that might just be 2 sessions. Maybe
I think just 2, or
yeah.
you think 2, not just 1?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be 2. I'm not going to rush y'all to that point. I will give you all a session to plan.
Sure.
And come up with a plan and involve chat in that plan if they so wish. And then we'll be running on to see what actually happens. So two more games, folks. It's been a wild ride, but here we are. That said, everyone,
Close to
thank
the
you
end.
so much. Be sure to come back tomorrow night for Battle Lords with Chris, Hussey, and I will be there. Revna from chat will be there. And yeah. I'm just blown away, guys. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, everyone. We had a great time. We look forward to seeing y'all again. Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.